I almost missed it. But you guys are getting your stickers. Your stickers. Get your stickers. Hi Arsenic. Hi Hux. Hi Zocko. Hi Matthew. Hello, hello. We'll get started in a little bit. I'm just posting my link to all the discords and such. Or any discords that don't already have me on their Fubuki. It has been over 1,000 years since I've been here. No worries, Arsenic. Welcome back. No worries at all. You got the Buko Pandan sticker. Okay, let me just double check all the discords, the tweeters. Okay. And take a sip of water. Hi Saku. Hello, hello. Yeah, get your sticker. You got to run. I love to run. That's good, Wawa. Hello, Height. You know what? Last thing I gotta do before I start. I gotta close the window. BRB. Okay, window is closed. Hello, Yanish. Hello. Got the Mokomamun sticker. Alright, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So let's go to the Zatsu screen first. There we go. We added some new art. By the way, how's my sound? I tried to adjust my sound settings before the stream started because I was like, my levels are always so wonky. So I don't. Is it too loud? Too soft? I don't know. I'm in the yellow now. Oh, Matthew, thanks for the 5 months. Bear time. It's bear time. You know what? I sound too loud for my own ears, so I'm actually gonna lower my levels a little bit. It's loud. Because when I test it all out, I'm always like testing. But now that I'm actually talking, it's like, okay, this is my actual volume. Oh no. Still can't throw shit. Yeah, cause I have to figure out cause every time the throwing thing happens, it goes back to my default emote after a while, my default face, which is linked to F1. And every time I'm on Chrome and I press F1, it leads to this page that's like, oh, like Chrome can help you with all your problems and blah blah blah. I just haven't had time to figure that one out, but it'll be back soon. You guys can throw shit. In the meantime, feel free to attack my stream avatar. Well, yeah, sup nerd, stay in school. It's bear time. It's really loud? Okay, how is it now? How is the volume now? A key binding issue? It is. I just have to change it so it's not F1. I have to change it so it's like Control 1, but, attack movement. There you go. So it's Clippy all over again. Yeah, it's just a matter of that, but I'm also thinking of getting, you guys know what a stream deck is? Oh yeah, let's start the music. Start the vaporwaves. Guy's name is Tupperwave, this artist. Wait, you know who else I like to listen to? Maybe instead of Tupperwave. His stuff is copyrighted, or I think it's copyrighted, but you guys ever listen to Ginger Root? Let's listen to Ginger Root today. Loretta. Matthew, thank you for the gifted subs. You know what? It's really loud. Like my own voice is loud in my ear. I'm gonna reduce the gain. Testing, test. Okay, that's not so bad now, right? Oh, cool. You gifted Pickles Are Legit. What a name. I love it. This is Bonzo Buddy Turf. Oh no, there's a game, right? There's a new horror game that's what's it called? Like it's supposed to be like a Bonzo Buddy, but it's like horror themed. You know, people are doing kind of like the retro thing with video games lately, like the 2000s Windows XP, Windows Vista-esque stuff. Like what was that game that Akashi was playing, right? Where you have to like report various cryptids and such. That's like the new retro. That's like the new vaporwave, right? It used to be 80s, 90s stuff. Now it's like 90s, 2000s stuff. Look, I'm on the TV. Yeah, look, we got some art behind me. We got some more new art behind me. We have Space Chasers stuff. And then Saku, she drew me yesterday in her stream. Isn't it cute? That's the one that's like right to the left of my face. Isn't that cute? Yeah, let's give some appreciation to Saku Space Chaser. What else we got here? Some of the stuff is older, but we got like Babanana stuff. We got Yucky arts from when I did the Bear Train. We got Hux's stuff. We got Vite Heights work with like the Power Rangers energy, right? We have May Shark, and I have a whole like another like toggle of other art as well. This stuff is stream safe. Oh, cool, nice. I think you sound decent now. Thanks. The ER board. the music is super schmoovin'. Yeah, I went to his concert a couple months ago with some friends. It was a vibe. It was a vibe and a half. Matthew, you know what I mean? Love ginger root? Nice. Huxy, holy crap, you're still awake. Oh man, Hux, how long have you been awake? Get some rest if you need to. Safety hotline? Oh, home safety hotline. Yeah. Stinky. Good Kid is also stream safe. Love those guys. Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah. I went to a concert of this guy, Ginger Root. I love it. And he does like very cute music videos. Very like 80s, 90s inspired. I just woke up for this. Oh, Hux, that means a lot. How you guys been? I've been kind of sweating, and I don't mean to alarm anyone because I feel like I've been sick a lot lately, but I'm starting to get another scratchy feeling in my throat. Beans has been a little sick lately. Yeah, he's had like a sore throat, and now I'm starting to feel it too. But the thing is, I was just sick before the vacation. Why is my immune system like this? It could also just be my imagination. Maybe I'm not actually getting sick. Maybe it's all the talking from yesterday, but we're gonna try to not yap as much today. Even though I know you guys love the yapping, right? Home Safety Hotline looks great from what I've seen. I might check it out. I do like the vibe of those, like, you know, 90s, 2000s games. The ones that are trying to, like, kind of have that vibe. I might try it out sometime. I did Hypnospace Outlawed a couple weeks back. I want to do something similar. Poor bear. Allergies, maybe? Yeah, maybe it's allergies. It is springtime. I was sneezing a lot in Japan. Well, not a lot. It was, like, in a very specific part of Japan. It was, like, in, Shinjuku? Or was it Harajuku? It was Harajuku. I hope I'm not allergic to cherry blossoms, but for sure I'm allergic to stuff in my own area during a certain time of year. So maybe it's just allergies, but for Beans, he's definitely sick. So we put on the humidifier, which, you know, blows like hot steam in the room. Ooh, Babanana, you got the ensaimada sticker. Hello. Butter ice. Yeah. Granny creams, hot butter ice cream. Exactly, Hux. You remember. Yeah, so we put the humidifier on today. Hopefully he's feeling better. He left the room because he was like, oh, I don't want to be coughing in the background of your streams. I don't want them to hear like the coughing and the sneezing. And I'm like, it's okay. I'd rather he rest. I'd rather he rest where he's comfy instead of feeling like he got kicked out of the room. But he's stubborn. He's in the living room right now. I don't know if he's like watching me or doing some other stuff. But anyway, hopefully he's feeling better. Vine Sauce has a Granny Cream song on his Steam Deck and plays it all the time? Oh my god, what am I doing with my life? Why don't I do that? Granny Creams, hot butter ice cream. Get the hot cream. You mix it real thick. I don't know how it goes. Hope Beans feel better soon. As well as me. Yeah. I don't think I have anything. It might just be my imagination, or it might just be me yapping a lot. Hello, Sime. Hello. By the way, did I ever wish you a happy birthday? I know it's very late, but happy birthday. It was a couple of days ago, right? You guys are getting your stickers. Get your stickers. Yeah, get them. Get them while they're hot. Yeah, happy birthday. Happy birthmas. The term that I like to borrow from Saku. Happy birthmas. Yeah. That reminds me, I have to finish my art for Milky. I told her that I made birthday art for her, and it was like a half lie. I did make some, but I didn't finish it because it was right before my Japan trip. And when I came back, I was so like unmotivated to do anything. And now I feel like I've gotten back into the spin of things. So I feel like I gotta, one, I wanna finish the Milky fan art for her birthday. Two, I mentioned this in my Discord. I've been really into Radin from Regloss. She's one of like it's like the Hololive, one of the Hololive gals, but it's like a different. It's Hololive but different. I think some of you already know, but for those who don't follow Corpos, well, I only barely follow Corpos nowadays. Hi, Mushi Bear. Hello, hello. When Death started their losing streak. Uh-oh. One of the new JP. Yeah. So, like, Hololive is under this corporation called Cover. So, and then Hollow Stars, the boys they're also under that. But now there's like another thing called Hollow Device, and under that is a group called like Regloss. It's kind of confusing, but at the same time, just know. Oh no, it's not aligned. It's not aligned. No. The pet. I crave the pet. It's okay. I'll switch over to my main screen soon once I finish my yapping. So many friends having birthday in early April. Yeah, I have a lot of IRL friends that also have their April birthdays. They even had they one time did a party that was like all of their birthdays combined, and they called it April Honeys. Isn't that cute? I can't believe a bear would spread misinformation. No, I wouldn't. No. I'm not. More Regloss love. Yes, I've been obsessed with Rodin. She's also an art history streamer. I've been looking at like English translated clips of her like art history stuff. I've been addicted, so yeah. Yeah. They are covered by cover. Pet the ear. They're undercover. Exactly. Let me convert you to the kawaii positive genius. Yeah, Ichijo Ririka. She's another one. There's Ririka. There's Owl. They're the one with the blue hair. Covered. Actually, Hollow Stars and Hololive is under Hololive, which is undercover. It's so confusing. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Bubba Nana. I think I saw like a flow chart where it was like, you know, Hololive, the girls, and Hollow Stars are both under Hololive, which is undercover. But undercover is also Hollow Device, and under Hollow Device is Regloss. Yeah, it's a bit like confusing. I don't know if that's even the right family tree bush thing, but yeah, just know that they're kind of under the same umbrella. And I think like Device is like second coming of INNK. I actually don't know what INNK is. I'm a fake fan. Sorry, Saki, I'm too random pilled. She's great too. I love her design. I think Ririka, she also does English only streams, right? I've seen where she does like horror themed ones. It's really cute. I haven't tuned in too much, but she's really cute. All of them are. Also the fact that everyone in Regloss is all human group. Finally, yeah, right? There's no eldritch horror. There's no alchemist clone. There's no Grampire. No, but you guys know what I mean. Yeah, it's funny because I was looking through like their wiki pages earlier, and I was like, oh yeah, they're just regular humans. This is so strange. Alcon is Miss Stelia girl. I smell black rock. You're correct. They are a separate branch. To make it less confusing, they refer to the higher Hololive as Hollow Pro. Oh yeah, you're right, Hollow Pro. Inonaka Music. Oh, okay. So she's like Shinri. For Ririka. I don't know if she always does horror, but I know that every English stream that I've seen her do is a horror stream. Fuisei and Azuki are actually from that. Oh, that makes sense. Before they moved to Hololive. That's where Suisei. Oh, that's where she got her beginnings. Yeah. Grampire. We have spooky friends at home. It's true. Edit Cave, she's like Shinri per se, but she is variety galore. I want to check more of them out, the Regloss girls. Right now, I'm still sifting through all the clips of Radin. Man, I love her though. I also love her design. Okay. The thing is, if my throat keeps on feeling kind of scratchy, I shouldn't overexert myself, right? So we should get into the art appreciation because we have a lot today. We have 8 artists. Usually I try to only do like 5 works of art, right? But today we have 8 artists, and some of them I'm looking at more than one piece of artwork. So and I want to make sure I give them the time that they deserve, right? I can't catch up with viewing more streamers. Me too. It's I've started following a lot of them, but it's hard to keep up. So I do have like a priority list, right? Like, you know, I keep up with like the Oomfies first. I keep up with Randon first and foremost. He's the Kami Oshi, right? And then if any of the Oomfies are streaming, you know, like Saku and Milky and who else? Like I don't know, like everyone, I have that priority list, and then everyone else, like we have Big Ham, Tippa, like all those folks, then I keep up with them, and then after that, like if Bettle is streaming, or I don't know if I can catch Rodden streams because she's JP time, right? So I've only been watching her clips. I haven't been actually catching her streams. Everyone is surprised I'm not deep into Hajime Bancho because she has a penguin mascot. Aww, cute. I made it a point to make the rounds. I keep gravitating into Shinri's stream. Yeah, he's super comfy. Like, I feel bad that, like, I used to watch Haka and Shinri a lot more, but the only Hollow Boy that I really keep up with nowadays is Battle. He's just so fun. I didn't watch his stream today, though. I should. But yeah, well, let's say we get into it, shall we? Let me go to my main screen. There we go. Oh, who's that? Who's that? Okay, so let's get into the swing of things. Ooh, wait, we got a question already? Okay, Bibinka Bear, who's your favorite Egyptian goddess? Or god, goddess, or demi-goddess? I have a soft spot for Amut. I know she's like she's more of a demoness, but Amut, you know, she's a good doggo, you know, even though she's not a doggo. And then other than that, I also have a soft spot for Set, God of Chaos. I did a little art of him a while back. And if I have energy, I'll show it to you guys. I would watch so much, but now it's time to do the stream. Yeah. Exactly. And then sometimes I just don't have time because... Oh yeah, get the star. All jump. Only I can do all jump. Actually, how funny would it be if... Did that work? No, that didn't. Okay, all jump. Did that not work? Oh, I thought I could make everyone jump. Okay, maybe... Why isn't it working? Okay, it's okay. It's okay. It bursted. Oh. It's okay. You guys all get a gold star in my heart. Pudding's worked. Okay, so here's the order of things. Yeah, Banana's on the telly right now. But this is the I think maybe it is like exclamation point. I'll check it out after. Yeah, we're gonna look at Banana. And then we're gonna be looking at Insania Nish. They posted some of their artwork on the Bibinka Discord. And then after that, we have this artist. What was her name again? It was like Yaru something. Oh, here. Yajirushi. Who Whiteheight is the one who recommended this artist. We're gonna be looking at 2 specific works here. Because there's so many artists today, I'm only gonna be looking at 1 or 2 works for all of them. And I also have a timer on my end. I'm gonna try to make it so that everyone gets about 15 minutes. Just because, for one, I want to save my voice, but I also want to, you know, I want to give as much energy to, like, you know, Banana, who's at the front of the queue, to our last person, right? I don't want it to be like a low energy, I just call it in type of like, their stuff is good. Okay, goodbye everyone, you know? So I'm gonna try and keep it to 15 minutes max for each person, but we have 2 works by what was it again? Yajirushi? And then we have what a cool name, Hieronymus Max, also known as I think it was like Max. Hold on, let me look at my list again. Max Taxidermist or something? Max Taxidermia. This was recommended by Matthew. And then we have Shuzar. This was recommended by Sime. I might just look at this work if that's okay. And then we have art submitted. This is our third person who's also a regular in chat, who's also submitting their own art. This is Zako's sculpture of the statue from Fear and Hunger from Funger. We're gonna look at that. And then we're gonna look at Link, recommended by Saku, who I've definitely seen their artwork before. Definitely. And then the last person we're gonna be looking at is Kofuchi. This is recommended by Mowo. So yeah. That's our cue for today. Unfortunately, I won't be adding anything other than that because, like I said, I want to save my voice. Want to make sure everyone gets their fair time. It's okay. Cool. Today is a holiday, so I kind of want to rot on the bed. Yeah. Feel free to chill. I'm gonna let Link know. Yeah. No pressure, no pressure to attend if they're busy or anything like that. So I'm gonna start setting this timer. Hopefully it all goes well. Let's see. Momo is stuck in parents' hometown for 8. Okay. No worries. Let's get started, shall we? Start the timers. 15 minutes. And if I have to pause the timers, that's fine. So, alright, so the first person we're looking at is Babanana. They're both a randomite and a regular in the chat. And I actually asked them, but usually I take recommendations from everyone of like who to check out, right? But this is one of the instances where I saw their artwork on my feed and I was like, okay, I really want to feature their art because it looks so cool. And also Babanana, feel free to like chime in at any point, especially if I ask any questions or if I get anything wrong too, because I'm gonna analyze it. And you can feel free to be like, actually, no, that's not what I did. But yeah, like I saw their art on my oh nice, Matthew, thanks for gifting to Babanana. Nice. Yeah, dope art, right? So yeah, I've seen their art. And correct me if I'm wrong, is it true, Babanana, that all of this is MS Paint, right? Like, let's look at this one of Sime's unidentified roaming creature. This is all MS Paint. Isn't that incredible? Because I remember we were just talking, was it this morning? It felt so long ago. We were talking about like, the problems with digital art and the whole like, oh no, I did it on the wrong layer or I clipped it to the wrong layer, And then Babanana chimed in being like, you just gotta do the one layer thing. You just gotta do the MS Paint one layer. That's it. That's all you need, right? Most of it is, yes, it's like 2 or 3 fake ones hiding in the crowd. I see. Yeah, one layer chads. I think what I really liked about Babanana's art is like, you can definitely see, like, I'm a big fan of painterly style of like seeing the strokes in everything. And we're seeing a lot of really cool techniques here. So for example, if you look at, can I just call it URC? The unidentified roaming creature. Sime, I also have to ask, Sime, is this your Sona? Is this like your character? Is it more of an OC? Cause like I could also say like, this is Sime, look, look at them. But yeah, if you look over here, I think one of my favorite details is the hatching. Or actually, let me know if that's even the right term, because I use cross-hatching a lot in my traditional art back when I like took illustration classes. But hatching, there's no crossing over, it's just kind of these straight lines. So look at the shading here on the cape. It's like a Sona, but she does have some lore. Okay. The MS Paint propaganda. If I go for one layer, I will just go paper. Yeah, that's the thing with MS Paint. It's like paper, essentially, with a little bit more features, like color picking. But it's almost like the intermediary between digital art CSP, where you have all of these options, versus MS Paint. And then, sorry, MS Paint is the intermediary between like that and paper, like traditional art, right? Hatching, yeah. Exactly, Perotech. We are all hatching from the egg. I think so, yes. Yeah, the hatching is crazy good. Yeah, because for one, I remember there was a stream where it was a Randon art stream where he was like, oh, I think he was drawing a snake, and he was like, oh, I don't want to draw every single scale. And I want to say it was Xander that was like, you don't have to draw every single scale. You can just draw a little bit, and it's going to imply the rest of the texture. The reason why I bring that up is if you look at the hatching here on the cape of the unidentified Roman creature, they don't do they don't cover the entire cape with this one color. They just do like small parts, and it implies the rest of the texture and the rest of the color. Also, this is also a technique you see in watercolor. You also don't have like any unpainted part. Your eye will read it as light. Oh, Paratech, yeah, you got the Turon sticker. Nice. When Shell knew this went into my FB banner. Yeah, Was he drawing Lander for the D&D campaign? That I'm not so sure. No, you know what, he wasn't. Are you talking about the Randon art stream? He was drawing someone's PFP. That's right. So, yeah, like, with this technique, it's... Oh my god, this is Evangelion. I just realized. Ginger root covered Cruel Angel's thesis. Less is more. This is a technique that's a technique I really like in art, of like just less is more. You don't have to cover the entire surface with like a certain texture or color. You can just imply it with little splotches here and there. And the rest of the eye will kind of like fill it in for you, or it can even read it as like sunlight or light, any kind of light source, really. Yeah, it was PFP. Exactly. Another thing that I really like about this one in particular, of this piece, is the use of color, because all of this is green, right? So all of the little cloak is green, but look, it's actually different shades of green. Let me open this in a new tab so we can zoom in a little. Oh, I think this is the original. It looks best in its original size, right? I like that. But we are going to zoom in a little bit. So take a look at this color. It's kind of like a forest green. And then up here, kind of close to like the collar, they did what's called hue shifting. When you shift the hue, you kind of change the color, so it's a little bit close to, say, like for green, there's one that's a little close to yellow. This is a green that's closer to yellow. And then this, if you look at the shaded area, there's even a little bit here. This is a green that's closer to blue. So if you look at a color wheel, green is in between yellow and blue, right? If you want to show lights, or if you just want to differentiate the color, you make it closer to yellow. You make it this color. It's kind of like a matcha green. And if you want to show shading... Oh, thanks for snoozing ads. I am assuming that's Matthew, because I didn't do it. Either that or Twitch just did it automatically. If you want to show shading, then you use a green that's closer to blue. So yeah, this is a really cool technique, and you don't even have to make it darker, but just by hue shifting, you make each part very distinct. You could tell that this is shading. You could tell that this... I don't know if it's supposed to be highlight or just a different part of the coat, right? But it makes it all very distinct from one another. It breaks up the piece, because if they chose to just make it all green, all the same shade of green, some details might get kind of lost. Like, you can't tell what's in shade and what's in highlight. So this is a really nice technique that you can do. And then Baba Nana said, yeah, on the left edge of the cave, I purposely left it empty to imply the Fresnel effect. Rim light. Oh, that's so cool. So you got the vocab there. I only barely know what rim lighting is. I actually don't know what Fresnel effect is. Let's look it up together, shall we? So Fresnel effect. Who got that sticker just now? Oh, Robbie. Hello. Welcome. We're doing some art appreciation. We're looking at Baba Nana's art, and they just taught me a new term. The Fresnel effect is simple, steep angle, weak reflection, shallow angle, strong... Oh! This is cool. I've never learned about this before. Oh, weak reflection, strong effect. Very cool. Nice. See, that's something that you could use in art. This seems more like, you know, like a physics type thing, but it's something that you could also see in art. Or both. On today, we learned exactly. Another really cool thing about Baba Nana's art is that, especially if you look through their gallery, it's for the most part pretty monochrome. Oh, this one of Hux is super cute. It's for the most part monochrome, but there's so much emotion in it, right? Like, look at these dramatic use of lines. Oh, Kazi BB, thank you for joining the class. Thank you. We're appreciating some art today. We're looking at Babanana's art. They are a regular in chat, and we're looking at their really cool MS Paint art. My big boba eyes. So true. Look, see, just by using line, you can show like intense emotion. I really like how you draw like the eyes, the little details like the saliva coming out, just being like, you could tell that this person is crazed after rage quitting to Vicky Resolve. Years from now, when Babanana is famous, there'll be art historians looking at like these works and being like, oh man, I wonder what was the subject of this artwork? What could have elicited such rage and condemnation? And then you look at this and it's like, I rage quit Da Vinci Resolve. Which is very fair, right? Poor guy, never had a chance. Look at the little vein on the hand too. Like, see, this is what I mean by like, at times less is more. All you need is just a little implication of a vein. It's so intense. So it's monochromatic, right? But that makes it so that whenever Babanana does use color, it's very effective. Like it, effectively, Babanana is saying like, I want you to look at this portion here. Not to say that everything in monochrome is not important, because look at the textures here in the grass. Look at this is something that if you want to figure out how to do texture, you might want to imitate some of these strokes. Like the grass, they don't necessarily have to draw every single one. They're doing these implications of these shapes, some dashes. I find these to be very soothing to make, by the way, these little dashes. And then look, you see short dashes for the grass. When it comes time to make rocks, they're using longer strokes, longer parallel lines. Here too, to kind of imply that this is kind of in the foreground. And then they also break it up with some, what I'm assuming are mushy rooms, right? So yeah, there's all of this. There's leaves in the foreground too. So varying the amount of lines and dashes you use can really kind of like break up the space and make everything kind of readable. Yeah, mushy rooms, mushy bears, exactly. Yeah, mushrooms, nice. Yeah, they look like mushrooms. The last thing I want to kind of highlight, at least with this piece, because I have 4 minutes left, is the use of background. This is actually something I had trouble with when I was in an illustration class. Oh no, the ad break starts soon. Actually, we can snooze this one more time. Yeah, let's snooze it for 5 minutes, because by then we'll be done with this section. So look at the background. It's in a light gray color. For one, that's a really easy way to show distance. The technical term, or I guess like a technical term that I learned, is atmospheric perspective. That's just a fancy way of saying that like things that are farther away look a little bit murkier. The colors aren't as vibrant, and it's a good way to tell that like this is all in the distance. But it's also a way to lead the eye to both the foreground and our central figure here. And all they had to do, all Babanana had to do, is just make it in a gray color. You don't need to do anything fancy. When you do, if any of you do end up like going into like art classes or just learning how to do atmospheric perspective, usually it's something like you do have to learn how to desaturate the colors or add like a blue tint to everything. But a really effective way to do it is to just do it in like a lighter, less saturated, more grayer color like this. That way you still get a background, you still get like a full piece. It's not just empty space, but it doesn't take away from here. The reason why I bring up my illustration class is like I was supposed to do like an ink drawing one time, and I accidentally put way too much detail into the background, and my professor was like, it's good, it's great, but you're kind of taking away from this here. You're kind of taking away from, oh, I don't think you can see my cursor. No! There you go. It takes away from this central figure over here. So yeah. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. The strokes are incredible. Yes, I agree, Yanish. I agree. I put a lot of MS Paint stuff into foresty BGs because they're relaxing to draw. Yeah, it's so nice to, I don't know, there's something really soothing about you doing like, you know, random strokes of rocks or grass or trees. One more snooze left. Yeah, we should be fine. We should be fine. It's so well drawn. I agree. I tried to do the atmospheric perspective without a color change in earlier pieces, and it's just not as effective and a lot more work. Yeah, I think you really got the handle on it. I think you really did it. You did it really well. Really quickly, since my time is running out, though we can pause the timer, is one of the most valuable things in my opinion is is seeing an artist just like do it. Just do the damn thing, you know? Like, so there is a time lapse that Babanana is. By the way, whenever your VTuber arc starts, you let me know. I'm gonna be tuning in whenever I can. But look, you guys let's take a look at this time lapse of the same work. Because this can give us some really good detail too on like how they did certain things. Nice, so you started with the figure first. And then you went into kind of the foreground. Yeah, so you did the grass and then you went into the rocks. I also love the rigging, by the way. your like Sona, your PNG is so cute. A little banana on top. Also, I really like the Windows 95, you know, setup. I love it. There you go. You're seeing kind of the... Oh, cool. We saw like a little bit of experimentation with the colors that you used too. Because you started with like kind of a darker gray and then went back to that original gray. Cool, cool. My big old noggin covers the grass part. No worries. No worries. Oh, and thanks, Matthew, for shouting out Banana. Yeah, yeah. Wait, so have you already started your streaming? I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. I need to... Everyone follow Banana. Isn't that cool? So that gives us a lot of like just watching people's kind of time lapses can also help in a lot of ways. So yeah, take a look at Babanana's art. Follow them on Twitter. I also saw that like while you have the mspaint stuff, you also did this really cool piece for Milky's birthday. I really like how you did this too. I know I don't have that much time left. I did pause the timer, but oh, you don't stream? Everyone follow now. Well, I'm gonna follow preemptively. Mega Bronson, hello, hello. You got the Lecherflan sticker. So, you know, everyone, you can preemptively follow Babanana. Good question, who knows? Oh, one more snooze left. Okay, you know what? One more snooze, just because I want to give some love and attention here. But yeah, you know, nice use of like soft coloring. You can see like the I don't know why I kind of like that this looks kind of deflated, like her face. And the huh. Whoa. Oh, that's the timer. I was like, what the hell is that sound? Okay. That was the timer. Let's see. Yeah, just check out their art. Check out their art. Like, really good, like, I don't know, I guess last question about Banana. Like, in terms of your art training, did you go to art school? Did you take art classes, or are you self-taught, or kind of everything in between? Because there's a lot of concepts here. Oh my god, it's Rhea. Hang in there, baby. There's a lot of art concepts that I see that it's like, oh, this person knows their art concepts. But yeah, I'm just curious. The poor milkers. Look at Huxley. not a care in the world. Smallest and cutest Randonite. And Mowo. We all know that Mowo is actually the cat, and this is just is an illusion. Gotta head out. Gotta go pretend my mouse scribbles are art for a bit. Weidheit. We will also appreciate your art in due time. In due time. You're self-taught. Awesome. Nice. Have a good rest of stream. Thank you, Weidheit. You have a good stream as well. Yeah. All right. So yeah, the timer did go off. So thank you, Babanana, for your wonderful art. If you'd like me to take a look at another time, you let me know. I love this discussion, by the way. I think I saw you talking to like Zenith Xander about like, why would one do this? And you're like, 2 beds. Little guy self-taught? Yeah, there's tons of great resources online, especially on YouTube. Yeah, of course. Yeah, there is. If you know of any like really helpful resources, I did just add a new channel on my Discord called Art Assist. It's for people to post their art that they want, like specifically like critique. Because there's appreciation where I want to kind of like focus on the positives, and then there's Art Assist where like if you guys also want a little bit of critique and feedback as well, you could do that. But it's also a hub for where you guys can post art resources. So if you feel like sharing those, feel free to do it there. No pressure otherwise. If you don't want to share them, I totally get it. But yeah, so that's Banana's art. So thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for appreciating that artwork. We already did the shout out. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on. Everyone give a round of applause for Banana. Woo! Pachi pachi pachi. So now let's restart the timer. Can I dump the art books then? Yeah, you can. So the next person we're gonna be looking at, let's go ahead and start the timer, is another person in chat, another regular, another Babine Cub. This is Insania-nish. They're in chat right now. They posted some of their artwork on in Creative Babine Cubs, and this is another instance where I saw it, and instead of like someone recommending it to me, I was like, I really want to feature this. I really want to feature this on an art appreciation. So we did. So yeah, here I'm only gonna be looking at 2 artworks if that's okay. Like I said, to save on my voice. I did the art. I did it. It was me. Yeah, you did. You did. And yeah, so shout out to Insania-nish. So we have 2 artworks here. We have this one and we have this one. And I think what drew me to their art, the reason why like I was immediately like, I want to look at this on an art appreciation, is your use of color. Your use of color is very vibrant. Artiste. Yeah. This one especially, I really like kind of this like really vibrant pink and purple. While the foreground is more of like this deep green with splotches of blue. I think like you did a really good job of making your figure kind of stand out from the background. It's really great stuff. So let's take a closer look, shall we? So we have here a figure. Oh, by the way, we can also use a lot of what we learned yesterday. So if you guys ever want to chime in and chat and show anything that you observe as well, feel free. But right away, I think, like I said, what I noticed was the color. And then the other thing is your use of anatomy. So in both of these, you show off a good... Oh, no, I ran out of ad snoozes. So we are going to have to take a break in about a minute. But that's okay. I'll also pause the timer on my end so that we'll make sure that you get a good amount of time. Contrasting colors is... Yes! Exactly, Hux. It's contrasting colors. And there's some variation in it too, right? You didn't just pick like one pink. If you look really closely at the background, near the head. Oh, thanks. You hydrate, don't dehydrate. Yes. Let's do that right now. Or you know what? Let's do it after once the ad break starts. I really wanted to make it pop. I started with the character color and just sort of grunged in the colors together. It's really effective because, like I said, look at this kind of halo around the figure's head. It's kind of like a very soft, very light pink, and as you extend out, it gets more vibrant and more deep of a color. And then over here in the edges, you get more of a purple and a kind of desaturated darker color. Ooh, down here too. I played it with a lot of light effects. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. It gives us this kind of cosmic galaxy type feel. So it looks really good. I think the ad might start any second. When that happens, I'm gonna do like a sippy sip, a little water break. But while we have this time, another thing that I'm appreciating too is that you have features of the background in the figure itself. So, for example, you have the pink, the pink jewels and the pink features here. Even the eyes also have that like vibrant magenta. Go hydrate. I don't see the ad thing yet. What you see in between the logs is the back layer. I mostly try to keep the neutral color a really gray marble. Ah, okay. No, good, because that's... Oh, okay. So, sorry. It is time for the ad. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take a sippy sip and we're gonna come right back, okay? Okay, it looks like the ad has finished. Hello, Bear. You've joined us for some art appreciation. We're looking at the artwork of Insane Yanish, who is in chat right now. They're also a Babin Cub. And we're just talking about how cool their colors are. Look at these awesome colors. I like to use a reference layer and color drop white as a base to work around. That helps me get some of the weird shading angles and keep them separate. That's a really good technique. I like that a lot. So color drop white as a base to work around. That helps me get around using... Oh yeah! So I think I've mentioned before that like one of my personal weaknesses is shading. Sometimes it's just confusing to me to know that like, you know, where are the shadows, especially on like a human body. So I use references pretty heavily. I'm very jealous of people that just kind of like know instinctively how to do it. It's just something that my brain can't figure out. So I'm glad you're kind of sharing this technique on how you personally do it. So cool. What were we talking about before the break? So yeah, the use of color, right? So I kind of like this very deep and dark purple background layer. I'm honestly horrible at it. I tried really hard on this one. I'm glad you said that because it came out really nice. For one, the anatomy is really good. I really like it. Like the curves, but then you have some stuff that like even though you went off a reference, there's stuff that you can also see as like kind of your own creation as well, right? Not to say that using references isn't your own creation, but you know what I mean? That like there's parts where it's like, okay, cool, the body looks very anatomically correct, and then you also have these cool wings that have like a slightly different line texture to them. But then that makes it seem like, you know, it's like this really interesting mix is what I'm saying. Yeah, for real, it does look really good. I'm also liking the kind of inklings of like the background colors on the figure itself. So over here you see a little bit of pink, you see it shining through the wings, and like I said, you see it in the eyes. Ooh, let's take a look at the texture in the hair. I like that. Did you use a certain brush or a certain brush technique for the hair? Because you can kind of see almost like these individual strands. But then you also see, what I like here is in the outer edges, you have more of that pink background color. So it makes it seem as if light is kind of like sifting through the hair. I had to find a way to make certain parts pop. I did use a model for the shape of the anatomy. I messed with that a bit too. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm someone who, like, when I was learning in some of my art classes, I was very like, oh, I have to stick to the reference like one-to-one. I have to exactly recreate the reference, right? And then afterwards, I took a painting class. And my professor was like, oh, there's some empty space here. Why don't you just like draw a couple flowers in there? And I'm like, oh, that's not what the reference has though. And she's like, you don't need to copy it one-to-one. You could just put stuff in there. You could just make it up. And I don't know, that was life-changing for me. I was like, huh? So sometimes with art, you don't have to exactly recreate the reference one-to-one. The reference is there to help you. But don't get too stressed out if it's not exactly matching, you know, because then that's a little bit of your own touch in it. I use a really soft hairbrush. I'm not really used to hairbrushes. Yeah, me too. I think that's another thing I was gonna highlight too with Baba Nana's artwork is that when they were doing since you're doing MS Paint, you're essentially forced to use one brush type. Which a lot of people will say, like, when you're a beginner, try to just use one brush type. Use just like the round, like the default round brush. See where that gets you, because then you can learn how to make different textures just with like a single brush, right? However, once you get a little bit more advanced, take advantage of those different texture brushes. I know that, like, for example, that's my mindset was also like, oh, I gotta just use the default brush and learn how to make the textures on my own. And then Milky was actually teaching me how to use CSP, and she's like recommending these brushes to use. And as I'm using them, I'm like, oh my god, these are fantastic. These feel so good, and it's so easy to like know a certain to like make a certain texture now. So it's a, you know, yes, if you're a beginner, try as much as possible to just use like one type of brush, just so that you kind of force yourself to learn how to make textures manually. But then once you get more advanced, you can get into using these hair brushes, these soft brushes like Yanish is doing in the hair over here. This is one of those pieces that the color palette really took over. I like it. I like it. Like the green against the pink, it's really nice. I gotta go back, memers. Too sleepy for class. Have a good rest of stream. We'll definitely watch the VOD. Thank you, Hugs. Thank you. Get some rest. Get some rest. Thank you. Thank you for always tuning in. Back on the topic of like brushes and texture, what I really am appreciating too is your use of like this textured line brush. It really makes the figure stand out a lot. Like I kind of like the stark black, right, that you're using. Like when you zoom in, you see the texture in it. It's not just that one, you know, that 8-pixel brush. There's a little texture that makes it almost feel like it's pencil or marker. So it adds a lot of like character to it. Same with your shading. If you look really closely, look over here, you see kind of like these horizontal and vertical lines. I love your use of texture. It's very strong. A sort of fat Copic ink brush that I really like. Nice. Honestly, when I first saw this, I thought it was traditional. Yeah, I kind of just assumed that it was digital. Especially because of the use of brushes here, but it really could pass for like traditional as well. I think also the text also kind of is a giveaway that it's digital, but you could have also easily, once again, feel free to correct me if I assumed wrong. This could also easily be a traditional piece that was scanned and then adjusted via digital later on, because that's also like a really cool way to make artwork with really good textures in it. You use these very stark lines, but what I'm also noticing is that you have different line thickness. Everyone take a look at the thickness of the line here on the background, on like the tree bark where the figure is leaning on. Very thick over here too. And then compare it with the line thickness of like this tail part, or even the line thickness of the inside. When you use line in a way with like varying thickness, it really kind of shows, it kind of guides your eye as to like where you should be paying attention to, right? Watercolor and Copic is a style I try to emulate. Oh, nice! Nice. I miss doing watercolor. I definitely want to do that on stream sometime soon. Copic markers though, like I'm still getting used to those. Those are really nice. Actually, I kind of see the influence of Copic here. Oh, you know what? I never restarted the timer, so you get a little bit extra time. I see the influence with Copic here in the shading. And you know what? We were talking about this with Bob Banana's stuff too, right? The use of different hues of green. The main color that I see that you're using is kind of this blue-green. It's a bit more green, but there's a little hint of blue in it as well. The shading though, you did warm shading. I like that. Yeah, I like the warm shading here, because this is a green that's a little closer to yellow. And therefore the highlights then, a really good technique is if you do shadows that are warm, do highlights that are cool. So it should be like a green, for example, that's closer to blue. And that's kind of what you did. Like the main color itself is closer to blue, but the shading is closer to yellow. And you also use like kind of a desaturated, brighter color as well. Very nice. Oh, who got their daily? Oh, Shiopi! Welcome. Hello. We're doing some art appreciation. Nice, you got your Insane Modda sticker. Looking at Insane Yanish's first time chat. I don't know why I assumed that. I've seen you on Twitter before, of course, right? I just kind of assumed. So when I got that little pop-up that says like first time chat, I'm like, oh, really? Yeah, we're appreciating some art today. But howdy. Yeah. So, what more can I say? I'm a sucker for, okay, like let's go to the actual design of your figure here. I love horns. In terms of design stuff, I think that's always like an A+ choice in my book, is like horns, especially if it's like these multiple horns. The textures are really nice, and how you kind of like you kind of have this motif of like bones. Am I correct in assuming that? Because like this tail, for example, is very much kind of like a vertebra. It has like these sections. I'm not great with anatomy, by the way, or I don't know like the names of everything, but I know that like the spine is your vertebrae, right? And then the wings, even though they are kind of like leathery as well, look at like the tops of them. They also have that same kind of vertebrae motif. And then these bones too, they kind of remind me of like a kind of thing of like a dragon's horns. There's that as well. I'm just digging the motif. It's like almost like a cosmic. It reminds me of like the 80s almost. I tried to make it look bony, like an ancient dragon. Like, oh, nice. So yeah, all around really good line work, and I think we see more of it in the next work as well. Here we go. This is really cool because whereas this is a little bit more organic, you have like these fleshy tones with some bony tones and some like, you know, wood and organic stuff. Here it's a little bit more metallic. It's a little bit more futuristic. So yeah. And this is interesting. So I didn't read the name of the first one. Hazenev or Hazenev. And this one, this is also interesting typography. Did you make this font, or is this a I don't know, like a certain script? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it Laneo or Laneo? And then SAR IA 20. Ooh, okay. One thing that I like right off the bat really love is the contrast between textures. So here we have look at all these little dots and circles. They kind of give it like a certain texture. For me, it kind of like reminds me of like either fish scales or like a whole bunch of boba. But it's contrasted really great with like the smooth texture of everything else. You do have like visual textures here, but for the most part, it kind of reads as like kind of smooth, almost like metallic, you know, especially with like these really highly saturated portions here. Hazenev, she's a VTuber here on Twitch. Oh, nice. The script is also a shameless grab, Azteca style. Nice. The second character is 020 Star, also a VTuber here on Twitch. Awesome. I really like the way you colored the line art near the light. It creates a great rim light effect. Yeah, I agree. That's such a good thing to notice. So let's zoom in here. Take a look at the lines here. It's a darker. It's actually not even stark black. It's like almost like a dark brown. Here too, but there's certain places where it's a little lighter, especially here where it's near the light source. This big ol' like it kind of like at first I was like, is this an explosion? But also just looks like a burst of power, right? But look at the line here. This is also a really cool technique that you could do with digital art and traditional. To be honest, you could also do it with traditional art. But it's just easier to do like at the very end when it's digital, because you could just use a screen layer or whichever layer that you happen to use and just kind of like paint over those lines. I actually alpha locked the line work and colored. See, there you go. So any budding artists out there, if you want a tip on how to do this technique, use alpha lock and you can color over it. The one that I started using is just make another layer, set it to screen, and then put the color. I just do that so that if I am not satisfied with the color that I use, you can change it. But alpha lock also works just as fine. You can also still change the color that way too. Also, look at the variety of textures here. I like that. By the way, what program do you use, Insanianish? Let me know what program you use, because like this like lighting effect reminds me of one of the brushes on Procreate, which I mainly use, but I've also been trying to get the hang of CSP. My number one tip is to just keep messing with stuff. I created this entire style by absolute accident, even if it wasn't the end goal. Yeah, that's how an art style is. Procreate, nice. Me too. Yeah. So making a style, sometimes it is a conscious effort, but a lot of time it's just something that comes with the territory if you start drawing a lot. So for anyone that's kind of like stressed out about like, oh, I don't have like a certain style, you know, just keep drawing. Just keep drawing, forehead. But no, for real, like the more art you make, the more your own style develops. Another way that you can kind of consciously influence your own art style is you could copy styles that you like. That's actually like a tip that you should just do it. Milky gave me a similar tip of like, if you want to get good at anatomy, for example, like copy some of your favorite artists, especially if they are of the ecchi variety. If you have any favorite artists that are of the ecchi variety, you know, that might be a good way to learn. You can also just use live and or like, you know, IRL models. Use pictures. There's plenty of websites that let you use pictures of like live models as well. So you do that. There was this artist that I really like who, if anyone here is familiar with Trinity Blood, the manga artist for that manga is they put a lot of detail in their eyes and their clothing, just a lot of detail in general. And I remember seeing this fan artist way back when I was like on LiveJournal, who was very much influenced by that style, and you could see it. You could see it in their you can see it in their art style, especially with how they drew eyes. Unfortunately, I forgot the name of the artist. Not the Trinity Blood, like the fan artist, because this was way back in LiveJournal. For the actual Trinity Blood artist, you could also just look them up. But yeah. Kudaketa, thank you for the 5 months. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Wait, Babinka Bear has won 5 from the jump catch game? How? I wasn't even playing. I really had to make a ton of crappy work to get this far this spring. I did like 20 days of practice before I started doing these. It really helped. Yeah, so sometimes those help, right? For those that are able to kind of do it for 20 days straight, it really does help. Because then you just get like into the practice of doing things. I remember I did, what was it? When one of my favorite VTubers last year, Vesper Noir, was on break for a couple of days. There was like an art challenge, or not an art challenge, it was just like it was something like Vesper on vacation or something like that, and it was like, oh, just draw according to these prompts. And usually I suck at those types of like prompt exercises where it's like, you know, those Inktober prompts. I usually can't keep up a good habit. I can't keep up a good habit, but for Vesper, I was like, no, I wanna draw so much. I wanna draw so much for him, my Kami Oshi. But that actually helped me a lot, because yeah, if you draw every day, it really does help you like develop certain habits. So yeah, I agree. Insane Yanish, like Insane Yanish is giving really good tips in chat, you guys. So check it out. Zooms in. Yes, I love Trinity Blood. Yeah, I really want to like actually read the manga. I've only watched the anime. But it's also been a minute. Put in maybe borked. Not jumping and getting a star? Man, this is so rigged! I don't know how I got a star. I haven't been jumping at all. For the Kami Oshi. Exactly. Just keep drawing even if it sucks really bad. It's true, and you also said something else that's really valuable as well, and that's it's something from Adventure Time, right? Where Jake is like, to get really good at something, you kind of gotta suck at something at first. You have to be bad before you can get really good, and that's the thing. Like, for one, trust the process. For two, it will get better. It will get better. And then there's sometimes where, oh, that's the timer. Let me pause it so I can keep on yapping. There's works that I kind of just did back in like 2020 that I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make it bad just so that I can make it, and just so I could like build up my repertoire, right? And then I look back nowadays and I'm like, that was good as hell. Why can't I do that anymore? So you never know. You might look back on your old stuff and be like, whoa, I was correct. And then that might be motivation for, you know, when you have what's it called, art block. Be like, you know what, I want to do that again. Let's do it again. And then if that's not the case, you can also remake your work just to see how much you've improved. That's another strat for you. Manga's so good, but the writer of it passed away. Oh no! So it doesn't have an actual ending. Aw. I still want to check it out. But thank you for the warning, Space Chaser. Do research why it sucks so bad. Yeah. I just saw a tweet recently that was like, you know, if at first you don't succeed, you know, the usual line is like try again. But it's from a Magic School Bus where Miss Frizzle says, like, if at first you don't succeed, find out why. Because that's also the key to improving. My sister is an artist, and she always told me you have to make bad art before you can make good art. Exactly, Space Chaser, exactly. Alright, let's take one last glance and see what else we can highlight before we move on to the next artist. So, this is all just really good. Like, I love your use of texture, and then the colors as well, because you're using kind of like this orangey color contrasted against the blue. These are two complementary colors. We keep coming back to the complementary colors thing, but it's a really good way to just highlight certain features. It's a really good way to like lead your viewer's eye a certain way. So if the background is orange, use this blue to draw the eye. And look, there's different blues. There's this blue that's closer to purple, and then we have this blue that's kind of like a teal. This really, really draws the eye. So really great textures, really good color. And that is the art of Insane Yanish. Good job. Good job. Good job. I really like mixing complementary shades. Yeah, that's a really good technique. And everyone, feel free to look at some of the tips that Insane Yanish left in the chat. These are all bangers. So thank you for letting me appreciate your artwork, Insane Yanish. It's really good. Alright, so yeah, it's these two. Alright, so I'm gonna take a little sippy break before we move on to the next artist. Sorry for flashbanging you with the sudden stark whiteness, but let's give some appreciation to Insane Yanish before we move on. I'm gonna take a sippy of my water. Okay, I was just resting my voice and also looking at all of the pings on Discord. A bunch of people are live today. How's the throat? Thanks for asking, Matthew. It is starting to get a little bit like scratchy, but I did just chug a whole bunch of water. If it starts getting a little more scratchy, I might just message Beans and ask if he can get me some tea, something warm. But I'm holding up. I might take a little bit of a longer break after we're gonna look at this artist that was recommended by Vitheight, and then this artist that recommended by you, Matthew. And that would be the halfway mark. So we might take a little bit of a longer break after that before we continue with the rest of our queue for today. But yeah, let's continue on with the next artist, shall we? So this is Yajirushi. Let's start the timer. There we go. This is Yajirushi. This is a Japanese artist. We're looking at their work via Pixiv, and this was recommended by Vitheight. He gave me heads up that, like, you know, you might want to like vet some of these beforehand. You might want to take a look at all of their work beforehand, because one thing about this artist that I noticed as I was looking through it is that they do have some not necessarily controversial, but just like a lot of their works are very like we live in a society. It's very much like that, where like there's some kind of message behind it. Yeah, that's some wild detail, right? So we're gonna be looking at two works. This is one of them, and this is the other one. These are both pretty tame in comparison to some of their other works. It never goes into straight up like guro, you know? It's never like super grotesque, but there are some things that could, you know, there's definitely some content warnings that y'all should be aware of. So, you know, I think some of these might imply, you know, drug use. They might just like all around like stressful things. So just be aware when looking at this artist. I chose these two. Yeah, sensitive. Yeah, there we go. Exactly, Space Future. Sensitive subjects. So let's take a look at this one first. Oh no, I don't want to log into my account. So can we cheat it? Yeah, we can. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at this one because I found this one super interesting because there are a lot of motifs here that you see in digital art. For example, look at this palette. She's literally holding like a physical palette. Oh yeah, and like all around we're kind of looking at like a surgery situation, right? There's a lot that hints that this is like a surgery. You see that all of the figures, for one, look the same. They kind of have like the same hairstyle, the same eye color. It's just kind of like yellow to blue type thing going on. You don't see as much detail on these two figures here on the foreground, but you know, the assumption is they have very similar hairstyles. So this might be the same person 4 times, or it might be 4 people and 3 of them are trying to make the patient look more like them, you know? The reason as of right now is still unknown, but you see them with these caps to kind of like get hair out of their face, even though you still see some hair sticking out. But this resembles a surgery. You see some splotches of paint that kind of, it is supposed to remind us of like, in an actual surgery, it would be like splotches of blood, right? Like blood will for sure, like if they're doing some kind of surgery, blood will get on the instruments, it'll get on the clothes, it'll get on everything. Here, it's replaced with paint, or what looks to be paint. Let's zoom in a little bit. Oh yeah, to save on my voice, I should also ask you guys. Let's put into practice of what we did yesterday. What's going on here for you guys? What are some things that you guys are seeing? And what do you see that makes you say that? It's also given me some time to like look at everything. I remember the first time I looked at this picture, I was a little bit taken aback because of this. This is like an implication of the selection tool. In digital art, you can, you know, select certain things. For example, like this person, you can like select this and it makes this dashed line. Sometimes the dashed line moves as well, or it kind of makes it look like it's moving. So when you do that here, it's implied that they are selecting this area and moving it around. Almost kind of like plastic surgery. Because that's the vibe I'm getting, that they're using a lot of digital art motifs to make it look but it's kind of implying that it's like plastic surgery. Space Chaser said, I feel like this is the artist wishing they could edit themselves as simply as you can an image in a digital program. Yeah, I agree. The shapes on everything are rock solid. Agreed. So we're seeing a lot of hints to digital art, so like the selection tool. This person is straight up using a stylus with even like it even has like the little pointer indicator here. These squares with the squares attached to them are like in digital art you can use what's called the transform tool. When you do that, you're kind of like transforming the subject itself. You can kind of like warp it in a way so that like it's wider or taller. And notice that it's over her chest. It's over this figure's chest. And then here this person is holding 2 tools. One of them is kind of like a remote, and this one looks like the brush selector on a digital art program. So you can choose whether to use like a harder brush or a softer brush. This person is using a palette, like a physical palette, but it has like the same shape as like a digital palette. So they could be, I think this person is in charge of adjusting the colors, right? Maybe making them look a little bit more lifelike. And this person is in charge of kind of like adjusting the brush texture. This person is selecting. We don't know if they're moving around the selection or if they're just kind of indicating like, yeah, like go here, right? So we're getting some motifs of like plastic surgery to adjust one's like appearance alongside digital art. And I kind of like what Space Chaser said. Like it's almost like, oh, like I wish like, you know, plastic surgery was this simple. Like it's not as bloody as real surgery where you know, like you're literally like not to be so grotesque, but like you're literally like cutting into your face and rearranging parts of your face and your flesh. Sometimes even your bone. So that's very grotesque, right? Like if only it were a little bit more elegant. If only it were like digital art where you could just like use the smudge tool or use like the Oh, what's that tool again where you can just like kind of drag around stuff like that? Not necessarily smudge, but it's that. It's like that, basically. What's interesting is that like whenever like, you know, they're trying to include every single color of the rainbow here. So we got blue, we got green, we got pink. But anytime that it's red, it really does look like blood, right? Liquefy, yes, liquefy. Exactly. Thank you. So yeah, it still has that same grotesque feeling. It's kind of like in Danganronpa. If you guys have either played or, like me, watched a playthrough or just were on those forums where people posted screenshots. The blood in Danganronpa is censored. So it's actually this very bright highlighter pink. But your eye still kind of reads it as blood. It's still very grotesque, right? So you get that same feeling here. What else? Oh yeah, so the transform tool is over her chest. Because like with the transform tool, like I said, you could make it bigger or smaller. You know, is it coincidence or is it intentional that like they put it over your chest, where like when people get plastic surgery, sometimes they want it for like bigger booba, right? Or sometimes you also get people who want breast reduction. It could be for aesthetic reasons. It could be because they have like, you know, breast cancer, that kind of stuff. But yeah, this idea of like changing parts of your body. And then look in the corner here. You also see like, it looks like color contacts. But I don't know if you necessarily use color contacts for surgery though. But that kind of adds to like the strange feeling of like, oh, they're changing parts of her eyes as well. It's also striking the expression on the person being operated on. Yeah, because for one, like, I don't know too much about plastic surgery, like whether you're still I don't think you're conscious when it's happening, right? Because they're cutting into your face and stuff. This person is completely conscious, and yeah, their expression is kind of blank, but also like one of, I want to say like wonder of like, oh, I wonder like how everything's gonna work out. I wonder what I'm gonna look like once this surgery is finished, right? And like I said before, what's also interesting is, look, they all have the same face. So, you know, you could really go into the whole, like, we live in a society thing where it's like, oh, she feels the need to conform to everyone else, to look like everyone else instead of being her own individualistic self. Because this could be an indication that this was her original eye color, right? It's still very beautiful. It is just different because here it's this like yellow-orange going into blue. Yellow-orange going into blue. You see kind of like the yellow-orange going into blue. But here, it's like a pink going into green. It's just as beautiful, but it's different. So I wonder if it is this whole thing of like, oh, she's feeling the pressure. She's feeling the pressure of like being samey. To me, it feels like a mannequin. Ah, very nice, Space Chaser. So yeah, for you, the blank look is almost like a mannequin. So what if they're creating a whole new person? I'm weak with expression, so seeing the eyes that speaks everything is so good. Yeah. Let's see what the artist actually said here. Oh, we might need to pop this into Google Translate. Japanese. Oh, interesting. So I popped it into Google Translate. This says, sometimes it feels more like operating than drawing. So rather than someone comparing surgery to digital art and wishing it was simpler, I wonder if it's they're feeling like their digital art feels more like an operation. Hello, Zako, you're still alive. We're looking at the work of Yajirushi. And then in a little bit, we'll also take a look at your work as well. Unless you are like feeling eepy. I've been on my feet all fucking day. Well, hopefully you can rest now. Hopefully you can rest. But yeah, Zako, let me know if you're feeling eepy or anything. I could bump you up so that we look at your work sooner rather than later. But yeah, we were looking at this work. We're kind of dissecting everything just as it feels like this person is being dissected. And yeah, this comment here, I popped it into Google Translate. Sometimes it feels more like operating than drawing. So I wonder if they're feeling like their work has to be meticulously detailed in order for it to have worth, right? Or it could even be a commentary of like I said, they all have the same face. I wonder if he feels like all of his, you know, Did I submit? I must have. This one, right? This one? This is the one that we were planning on looking at later on. So yeah, moving back to this one. Yeah, like, I wonder if they feel like, oh, I have to draw these kawaii girls. I have to, like, instead of her feeling like she has to conform, maybe it's the artist, it's Yajirushi that's like, I have to conform, I have to like have this kawaii girl in order for people to appreciate my art. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, so that's interesting because we were seeing it as like, you know, maybe this person feels like, oh, I wish it was easier for me to like edit my face. Where the artist was feeling more like, oh, like my digital art feels like an operation. It has to be so meticulous, right? Where am I on the timer? Ooh, we don't have that much time left for this one. So let's go ahead and really quickly look at this next one. This one's pretty simple, like, I guess concept-wise, it's a gachapon machine. It's those machines where you put in the coin, you turn, and you get something random, right? However, the gachapon is their head. It's her head. I kind of just like this one because, like, it could be, like, something morbid, you know? But I'm reading it as a little bit more whimsical, a little bit more like, you know, anytime that you feel like you forgore. It's like, it's almost like a gamble of what's gonna come out of my mouth coming from my brain, right? Like, every time I lose, every time I have the streamer debuff, the streamer debuff of like, oh, what's that word again? Like when you guys were helping me remember what liquefy means. Or the word for liquefy. And it's like, oh man, I have all these words in my head and yet I can't get the word for liquefy. And then it pops out, and maybe the thing that pops out isn't what you wanted. But it's okay. So Zako said this is literally autism visualized. So that's like a good interpretation of it, right? So what do you see that makes you say that? I bet it has something to do with the thoughtless words. Yes, that as well. So for me, I personally saw it as like, oh, I have all these words, all these thoughts in my head, and yet the only thing that pops out is a randomized gotcha, right? Either spout a hyperfixation, your catchphrase, or vocal stim. I see, yeah. Put a coin in and see which one of those three you get. And then Insane Yanish said, like, it could also be thoughtless words, right? That, like, let's say that you're trying to comfort a friend, and you have all these ideas in your head, but the only thing that comes out is the one that is the least helpful. Is the one, it's like you could be like, oh, you know what, you're just as valid for feeling that way, blah blah blah, and the only thing that actually comes out is, that's rough, buddy. And then I also like Zako's interpretation as well, that, like, you know, you have this gotcha of like, what's gonna come out of my mouth yet? Is it a vocal stim? Is it my latest hyperfixation? Is it a catchphrase? Or is it something that's related to the conversation at hand? Because I feel like that happens to me a lot too. Or it's like, I want to say something thoughtful, but instead what comes out is like, that's crazy. Oh, that's the alarm. That's the alarm. So let me pause the timer really quick so I can read your guys' comments. If your throat is feeling iffy, maybe I could ask the Turnip 28 guy, Max Fitzgerald, for more details and you can get Zako in. Ah, if you want, you know, no pressure. No pressure. I wonder if the resemblance to headphones is intentional and if it carries any meaning. My first thought is that it had something to do with listening to music before looking at it in detail. Ah, you're right. It does kind of remind me of like headphones as well. That's an interesting one. That's just chat going on a tangent you can't keep up with like yesterday. I do my best. Sore throat, gargle, warm vinegar, and I can never do that. It makes me gag. It makes me gag way too much. Drink some agave and tea. I think after this one, maybe I'll take a little bit of a longer break so we can get some tea. I'll get some tea for my throat. Sure, Matthew, sure. In that case, yeah, we'll take out Max Fitzgerald. I did want to take a look at some of their work, but we can also do it next time instead. Add some salt to it. You know what? I think it's salt water that I can't gargle. Like, it makes me gag too much. One of your faves? Oh, you may fall soon. Okay, yeah, let's look at Zako's right after this. And Arsenic said this artist is so cool. Yeah. Before we go on to Zako, I do want to touch on one more thing, and it's the thing that Baba Nana said, that it looks like headphones, right? Looks like headphones. So I wonder, like, you know, I do wonder if there's like any relation to music, or if that's just kind of a convenient motif to go into, right? I love the surreal themes. Yeah. I think that is a good way to end it off with this artist, is do check them out. This is Yajirushi. I'll link it. You know what? I can also link it right now. And then we're going to jump into Zako's work. Now, this artist was recommended by Weidheit. There you go. There's a link to Yajirushi. Check out some of their stuff. There are some sensitive topics in there, but they have some really cool surreal theming. Yeah. Appreciate you, Chief. It's been like 80s today in my city, and there's been no shade. Oh no. I know. Now, I feel that it's pretty hot in this room right now, but I don't want to open the window because then we're gonna hear the noisy ass kids outside. Okay, let's jump straight to Zako's work, and then I'm gonna take an extended break. I'm gonna get some tea from my throat. I've been doing this thing, Zako, where I give everyone 15 minutes, just to be fair, you know, just so I don't waffle on for too long. But alright, let's take a look. You know my heat and light debuffs. I also drew you something as thanks for showcasing me. Nothing real wild, but it's a fun little doodle. Thank you, Insane Yanish. Thank you. I'll check it out after. I'll check it out during my extended break. Okay, let's take a look. We have Zako's sculpture over here, and it looks really cool. It's from Fear and Hunger. I did watch Randon's Fear and Hunger stream, and I do know the story of this one. It's always been so grotesque to me. The idea that, like, okay, so the Fear and Hunger spoilers. If any of you want to play this game, come back in, I want to say 5 minutes. Spoilers. There's a character in Fear and Hunger 1 that starts out as a little girl, and then at the very end, she turns into this statue. She turns into the god of fear and hunger. But before she settles on this like last form, she goes through like a very like grotesque transformation where like her first form, like it's just her, but she has like an extra limb, and then she starts like kind of growing into kind of a bit more of like a matured figure. But I don't know, there's like pained expressions. Grotesque is really the only way that I can describe it. Before she settles on this final form that is just, as opposed to being like, it's not really grotesque anymore, it's just a statue. Yeah, it's one heck of an ending. Yes, I agree, Sime. It's one heck of an ending because it's not grotesque anymore. It's a statue. It's like there's no longer any emotion. There's no longer any pain. There's no longer any like grotesque, you know, limbs flailing out. It's a statue. It's this essentially. And like to me, that has always been like one of the more disturbing parts. It is an ending of all time. Yes, Zako. That's like, I don't know. It's almost unnerving to go from like this little girl that like, you know, you even like there's even like a soundbite for her like shrieking, right? Like this to like a statue, like this emotionless statue. And here like Zako has kind of captured that with, you said this is like 1 out of 35 scale, right? So it's smaller, but you get all the details here. Sort of reminds me of the Cthulhu doll. That I don't know about, but that sounds just as grotesque, right? She's transcending time and space. She's no longer the kid. She's always existed and timeless now. And she exists. She's always existed for all of time. Yeah, that's like, it's that transcendence that makes it like kind of disturbing. Like she's no longer human. She's a thing. She's an idea. Gods imagine going from a kid to trillions of eons years old. Exactly. That's what makes it kind of scary, kind of terrifying. So with this statue, what was the material you used, Zako? Because for one, I really like the sheen of the color here. The material itself, and then it looks like, did you paint over it with a certain paint product. I do see like a bottle in the back over here. Is that what you might have used? At the point, she was never a kid. The kid was just a catalyst. Ah, that's another way to read it. Yes, yes. Let's compare as well. Okay, so if we look at the original work, we see things like draped over the figure. We also see like, I could never quite like parse out what this is meant to be here. It's almost like a sash around it, or maybe it's like some kind of implication of like arms. And here you've imitated that, right? You even have like the implications of these horizontal lines, right? You also kind of put the huge, it almost looks like a crack in the statue, right? But it could also be something else draped over, kind of like a necklace. You have that same implication here, which is like pretty, it's really cool to kind of like get all those details in there, right? Like, I'm looking at every single kind of like line here. It really resembles kind of like the statuesque figure. It's all epoxy putty from scratch and Mr. Hobby primer and Vallejo paints. Oh, cool, 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 cool. I'm not like, I don't usually do like 3D artwork. I don't know that much about sculpting, but this, like, you have the same kind of like lines, material, and kind of features that you also see from the original work over here. This too, like these kind of points that are jutting out, it kind of makes like it matches the silhouette, and it makes for an interesting silhouette too. It's almost like a cross. It's almost like a Christian cross, and it kind of like goes into that, you know, like, I feel like this theory has already been said, but it's I know that there's a religion in the Fear and Hunger universe that's very much like Christianity, right? Like, it's basically Christianity. But it also goes into this whole idea of like, you know, according to Christianity, Jesus was also this living figure that transcended into godhood, died, and came back as, you know, a god. So kind of similar to like the story of the little girl, right? So you have here like the head, and then you have these like 2 points kind of jutting out. And then what looks like a sash. Like I said, I'm interpreting it as a sash, but I feel like there's different ways you can interpret it as well. Let's see. I really like the color too. It's for one, it has a really nice sheen to it. The pointy bits are wings, the head is a halo, and the scarf is, oh yeah, like the pre-sashes. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Ooh, you know what? That gives it a little bit more of another dimension, because yes, you have like these angelic wings, right? And then you have the halo. The halo is kind of overpowering the head though. Same with the sash. Like, all of these symbols are overpowering what used to be the human. She's cross-like because she's ascended god, like Almer. Yeah. That's the name of the Jesus-like figure, right? That's the thing, because like I said, I don't know if I'm ever gonna play Fear and Hunger, especially on stream, because it's one of those like really hard games that I just, you know, I don't know how I do with with those kinds of games. But I love the lore. I've watched so many lore videos because I love the whole like ascension stuff with it. It sounds like some batshit lore. Insane Yanish, you should check it out. You should check it out. I know I just spoiled one of the endings for you, but it could be that thing where like after enough time has passed, I definitely recommend like playing it for yourself. Oh yes, also gotta run the censorship mod. If you ever play it, especially on stream, there's a censorship mod, because some of the enemies, have their big their dicks, their penises, they're just flopping out. So yeah. The girl is less of a person and a little object to summon a god that's already existed. I'm poor. I'll just go watch a lore video. Yeah, that's what I did. I stream without censors. That's for the audiences. Oh man, peanuts. The peanuts. Exactly. Yeah, I'd definitely recommend watching a playthrough or looking at the lore video. I watched Randon Nuring, Orc VTuber, play it. Shit was insane. Half the enemies are peens and vages. Yeah, it's a lot of like phallic imagery, a lot of like vaginal imagery as well. If you want Funger, I do challenge runs every day. Yeah, check out Zako's streams. They do a lot of runs. So yeah, Let's see, what else can we comment on? Like, I like the painting. I think I mentioned like the sheen of the paint. When it comes to painting, Zako, like I know I've seen some of your stuff with your scope dogs and whatnot, but is this kind of like a spray on, or is it painted with a brush? Shout out to Randon. Yeah. They were playing content warning last time. They're streaming tomorrow, and I'm working from home. Woo! Yeah. So, let me know, like, what is the painting process? It's top coated with Mr. Hobby. Oh, the matte coat. It's all brushwork. Oh my gosh, how long does that take? How long does it take to do something like that? I'm gonna take another sippy of my water. I rarely spray anymore. I'm curious about, because I have no experience with that type of stuff, right? Like, what is the pros and cons of like brushwork versus spray work? Those highlights and whites are all painted. Nice. I'm sorry, I'm just taking a sippy. Taking a sip. You got the bear compla in Nippon. Yes, I did. I might want to do a build of that sometime soon. I just gotta look into my schedule for when I can do that. How long it takes for me to paint specifically? That's unknown. I smoke and let Mary guide my hand. Well said. Well said, sister. As for the molding, that's like 3 to 4 hours because of hardening. Ah, okay. Oh, it is that fast in terms of hardening and drying? Because the only sculpting medium I've never done clay, right? I've never done clay. I've only done something called model magic, and that doesn't dry until about 24 hours. It does dry after a while, but the permanent drying is 24 hours. The head was so fucking hard to carve. You did really good. Like, I see the features over here. I really like that you said that the highlights are all hand painted. Look at that. It adds to that sheen that I like so much. Ain't that the freaking truth? It's slow-ish. Ah, okay. So there's clays that dry quicker then? Because like I said, I'm used to like 24 hours. So 3 to 4 is like, oh, that's relatively fast. I just really like the overall shape. It ain't easy being auteasy. Ain't that the truth? I have a way to normally do it for scope dogs. It hardens in an hour, but this one I kept softer so it can be carved without me carving my... Ah, okay, I see. I only use epoxy putty from Mr. Hobby. I know that there's another Randonite streamer, Charlie Zawapill, that also uses epoxy. They posted recently about how like they were getting epoxy putty from Amazon, and when they opened it, it was like already half open, so it was like dried out, I think. Which is like, dang, that sucks. 3D art, I think I mentioned this before, that like 3D art was one of the last classes I had to take before I could get another degree. Because I have an associate's, I have a bachelor's, and I have a master's. But I could have gotten one more associate's degree if I just took a 3D art class. But I was like, I don't want ya. I was just like, I don't wanna. I have to. Well, because for one, I don't have a car, so I would have to like carry these huge like either wire or like sculpted art projects with me on the bus, and I just wasn't down. And I'm like, a part of me is like, oh, I wonder if I could like go back, like especially if I do get a car, or if I just feel less embarrassed about doing that. If I could go back and take a 3D art class, so I could learn about things that you do, Zalko, like sculpting. Same with Matthew, you do like miniature paints, right? Like I wanna play around with that sometime. Which is why I buy Gundam Planet, plugging my favorite store. Nice. I also use epoxy for warhams. That nice. Mine is non-toxic and cheap for something so durable. The statue I dropped from a window, and only the paint was scratched. Whoa, that's intense. Green stuff, blue, yellow epoxy sculpt, milliput are all easy epoxy putties for beginners. Because I'm wondering if I should self-teach that kind of thing, or if I should go back to like a community college to learn how to sculpt like that. One of my colleagues is really good at sculpting. I sometimes do tutorial streams for people starting when there's enough of a crowd. Ah, okay, okay. Good to know. Good to know. Nice, nice. Yeah, overall, this is like very enlightening to me as someone who like is more of a 2D rather than a 3D artist. Very enlightening to me to just know like how much difficulty goes into like sculpting these thick lines, right? And like this sash with the horizontal lines, like how difficult that must be. I'm self-taught, but I don't do much sculpting. My epoxy is a two-part that you mix in your hand and it hardens chemically, not just airing it out. Ah, okay. There's so many cool 3D artists on YouTube and Twitch. I'm sure you can look to for guidance learning too. True. I think for me, I just have a little bit of trouble like self-teaching myself. I get like I either get like disinterested or bored, or I'm just like, it's too hard, I don't want to do this. Whereas like a classroom setting, I'm kind of forced to just do it, right? To just do the damn thing. You've gotten a book of enlightenment after 5 hours of no saves. You finally have one. Oh man, depends on what you're looking at to make too. I want to make little guys, like little cute little like, you know, bears. Like something silly. I'll teach you, don't worry, I can teach too. Yeah. I believe it. Alright, so the timer is about to run out. I'm gonna go ahead and let's see if I could do an ad early so that I can go grab some tea from my throat. Oh, that's the timer. Cute little tchotchkes. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so this was Zocco's sculpt from Fear and Hunger. Thank you for sharing your beautiful artwork, Zocco. Check out their stuff. Check out their streams as well. So yeah, oh, perfect timing. I hear my cat. My cat wants out. So thank you. Everyone give some appreciation to Zocco. I can finally goose night. Yeah, have a goose night. Do you want to sun bear at 135 scale? Sure. No pressure though. Maybe collab with Mayshark again since she's one of the things that she okay. Yes, let's appreciate Zocco. Pachi. Okay, let's see if I can do an ad early. I cannot. Like, are you kidding me? That like the ads always happen right when I don't want them to happen, and yet when I actually want them to happen, it's like, nope. Oh wait, I can. Okay, yes, I can make an ad happen right now. So, I'm gonna go ahead and do an ad. I'm going to get something from my throat, and then we're gonna come back with Shuzar, with Link, and with Kofuchi. Okay? Let's do it. Okay, ad start. Ad play. Come on. Ad play. I'm gonna do the BRB screen. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. So I wasn't able to make any tea because my mother, my bear mama-in-law is prepping food. So I got a yummy dinner waiting for me when I end stream. But it's okay. I was able to get 2 oranges. I was able to get 2 tangerines. And oh, you know what? I should chug some water right now. Yeah, it's okay, Space Racer. It's okay. I was thinking about like how I can like preserve my voice a bit more, and I feel like I should probably start doing like vocal exercises before I start streaming or something like that, because I was playing some Ginger Root during the break. I don't think you guys heard it, but I like this song Loretta, and I was singing along to it, and I was like, I don't know, it feels different talking for a long time and singing for a long time. Because I like hum to myself when I work, right? Or if I have the house to myself, I like to hum or sing to myself. I could do that for like hours, but like at karaoke I can't. And then like there's also something different about like when I stream a video game for like 3 hours, my voice is fine. But when I do art appreciation, I don't know, like after the first half hour, I'm like, guys, my throat. So I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because art appreciation, it's just me talking nonstop, whereas a video game, there's like pauses, right? There's like, you know, I'm locked in, as the kids say, as the Cubs say. Anyway, let me chug some water. I think you just talk more when you're doing art appreciation. Yeah. I agree. I do want to get back to gaming sometime though. Actually, art streams too, because tomorrow I'm doing an art stream. I'm going to be doing some animal studies. Those I am able to retain my voice a little bit more. But let's say we get back into the swing of things, shall we? So we got 3 artists. We got Shuzar with this really cool piece of artwork. This is recommended by Sime. And then after that we have Link, and then we have Kofuchi. Yeah, welcome back. Thanks. Okay, so we're just gonna be reviewing this one piece of artwork, but right away, I love it. Because for one, I don't know who this character is, but one of the first things that you notice when you look at this artwork is that there is what's called a unified color scheme. It's for the most part very purple pink with purple with like a little smidge of pink here and in the sunglasses. It's their OC. Ooh, awesome. Yeah, me too, Space Chaser. I love the magic effect. David Bowie energy right out the gate. I agree. I love it. It's like very magical. A very, what is it that the kids are saying? The C word? In a good way. It's very, I won't say the word itself, but I'll say like, it's very kavanti. The clothes are so good. I agree. Let's take a closer look. Look. Okay, is this like the inside? The inside of the sleeves is this butterfly effect. The butterfly wings. Kavanti. The clothes are so good. They are. So right away we're seeing the this all around like magic effect, and then there's like a butterfly motif. They could be an Umineko wish with all those butterflies. Very true. They're serving, yes. You know what? That is a better way to euphemize, to like use a euphemism instead of saying kavant. I could just be like, they're serving. Because from one, you see the butterflies around their head in kind of like a magical effect. And then here on the, I don't know what you would call this part, but like attached to the collar, you see more of the butterfly wings. They have these long sleeves, and the inside of it has this almost like a purple monarch butterfly effect. The art clearly fucks. Exactly. When's the last time you heard your art history teacher say that, huh? Like, alright class, so we're looking at this artwork and clearly it fucks as the Now what do we see on the work itself that implies that it fucks? But yeah, the clothing and the fashion is very well done, because for one, I like it when textures are contrasted. When like here you see there is a texture, you know, there's like but there's no, how do I say this? It's very complicated and complex here and rather simplistic here. I like the contrast a lot. But it still has some character. Like, look at this. This kind of reminds me of Battle in a way. Like these places that are like clasped together, but you see the underlayer here. Your Honor, my client fucks. Yeah, what if we mix BTS, the visual thinking strategies, with you know, the terminology, so to speak? Or class. What do you see that makes you say that it fucks? What do you see that makes you say that it's serving Kavunt? I have also been thinking, like, should I start like not censoring myself, but like not use as much profanity? And one of my thoughts is like I could just use euphemisms like frick. What do you see that makes you say that this fricks? Or fecks? How do I put this? It's masculine feminine, but in a really tasteful way, like it isn't too much. Yeah, peacock energy. I agree. I agree. One thing that I noticed though is that they kind of intentionally, and you can kind of tell that it's intentional, they fucked with the anatomy a little bit. So usually, if you could even test this out yourself, if you wanna stand and just put your arms on your sides, where do your fingertips land? Where do your fingertips land? Because usually, actually I'm just gonna go ahead and do it myself. Hold on. It differs for everyone, but usually it's a little bit below the hips, right? Here though, these are the hips. This is like where the crotch area is. And the hands, they go a little bit lower. So this person has very long arms. Very long arms. But you can tell it's kind of intentional. Very long legs too, look at this. Super long legs. Lanky arms kind of give a Clamp vibe. Very true. Very true. If you guys don't know who Clamp is, they are a collection of mangakas, all manga artists, all female, who they actually got their start doing doujinshi, doing fan-made works, like the infamous JoJo one, where Kakyoin lays an egg. But then they made their own manga, which is really cool. Like they made some really famous one like Cardcaptor Sakura, Triple X Holic. Why am I blanking on the most famous one? Like X 1999. I'm blanking on like their most famous ones. Why am I blanking right now? They did the designs for Code Geass. Yeah, Magic Knight Ray Earth. They did Wish, which I found out. Someone said that like, oh, Wish is actually like a Jotaro Kakyoin, like you know how what's it called? 50 Shades of Grey started out as a fanfic for Twilight. Apparently Wish like is arguably, I don't know if this is true or not, that it's actually like a Kakyoin Jotaro like fan work, but it became its own thing. Yeah, Chobits, yes! Okay, why did I forget that? That's one of the most iconic ones that they did. I also love Wish. Sakura Mikage, yeah. Bro, the fact that I don't read Clamp works other than Angelic Layer. Sime, you have to check it out. Knowing what you like, knowing some of the... Because I know that you like what I like. Well, not exactly, but we've had talks before in a certain channel in the Leaf Tent without getting too sussy-wussy. If you're into some of the things that I'm into, you should check out X 1999. Kakyoin, did you lay this egg? Exactly. Chobits, yeah. They are the current designers for Cardfight Vanguard. No kidding. Oh my gosh. She was adorable. Yes. Okay. Not to out you live on stream. Yeah, Tsubasa was incredible because it was just such a huge crossover of so many things, right? I'm just on their Wikipedia page now. But Kobato, yeah, Kobato. I think that's the one that I never really read into, but Kobato is another one by Clamp. I like a lot of Clamp. Yeah, they're iconic. So going back to this, it kind of does have like Clamp vibes, doesn't it? Like kind of like Yuko from what is it? triple X holic. I don't even know if that's supposed to, if that's how you pronounce it. I heard that it's pronounced holic, and the triple X is supposed to be like what's it called in math where you use like X? Like it's supposed to be that a variable of like what you are a holic of, alcoholic, drugaholic. Kobato crosses over with Wish? I didn't know that. I kind of want to check it out now. The proportions being stretched really makes me think of that. Yeah. It, as the kids say, it's giving. It's giving clamp, right? Miyuki-chan in Wonderland is the I Love Women series, but I'ma stop now. No, yeah, no worries. I like it though. So yeah, we get like kind of the clamp vibes, the clamp proportions on here. Same design too, because like Yuko also kind of had like a butterfly motif as well. This is very much like a butterfly, monarch butterfly motif over here. And we also get this magic, there's something also about the composition that reminds me of like the artwork for like Genshin and Star Rail. Like this is kind of like the intro to the new character, right? Because they have like these magic effects. It kind of like hints a little bit at their personality, at like what their abilities are. I think the design also kind of hints at their personality a bit too. I don't know, this person seems very confident, right? It kind of like reminds me of Bayonetta as well, who I believe also has like butterfly motifs. Very confident, like, you know, able to just like step on their enemies, you know. But we can't say for sure whether they're actually like a gentle soul or if they are just constantly serving, you know. I will send a video in Discord. Kohaku meets Kobato. Oh, cute. People draw so sexy. Let's see, what more can I say about this? I really like the use of like I said, you see this very vibrant pink over here? They use this color to highlight certain parts of the clothing. So like the eyes over here, but also here, the sunglasses, the shades. Also oh, you know what? There's a secondary motif here. There's an eye motif. Because you see like the glasses are very much like highlighted with this color, but then there's also like a third eye on the forehead, but it's closed, or it kind of implies like a closed third eye. It could be something else, but that's how it looks to me, because you see like this is the lid, these are the eyelashes. And then over here in the monarch butterfly wings, you also see like the eye part is very much highlighted. So there's like a double like butterfly eye type thing going on. If we think of, I guess for you guys, what does a butterfly symbolize to you? Because it can symbolize a lot of different other things, like, you know, beauty, daintiness. Yeah, it does tell a cool story, because now I'm trying to like think of like, well, what does it symbolize then? Like a closed third eye. Well, third eye is usually associated with like, you know, the eye of the mind. Like you're opening your inner eye, right? But if it's closed, one wonders why. Because if it's closed, like why not just like leave it blank in the first place, right? So it could be like they're intentionally closing their spirituality off for a certain reason, something like that. Metamorphosis, baby. Yeah. Wasn't always the king of goblins. Butterfly effect. The soul. Yeah. At one point, this was a sniveling nerd. Okay. So we're creating this narrative here. Yeah. So it could be metamorphosis. It could be that this person wasn't always serving this hard, right? Maybe there's a bit of backstory that they have awakened. And that goes into the eye motif of like awakening, right? So metamorphosis. The soul thing, yes, because I know that in like certain cultures in the Americas and in the Philippines, I don't know if this is also Southeast Asia or other parts of the world, if you see a butterfly, it's believed that it's the soul of an ancestor, right? So like, you know, this idea of like passing, spiritualism, stuff like that. I forgot to let's see, the timer. I forgot to start it, so I think we've been talking about it for about 15 minutes already, but the shades too are very Gucci. Circular glasses are beloved. I'm weak. Yeah, it's very fashionable. That plus this little design thing I love a lot too, where the glasses have the chains kind of I don't know if it's chains, but you know what I mean. it has a practical use of so you don't lose your glasses, especially if they fall off. But I've also just seen them in like a fashion, like, a fashion thing. Gorgeous, gorgeous art though. Hot damn, who this one last time? This is Shuzar. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll link this in the chat. There we go. There's a myth about a black butterfly in Mexico where if you see it or someone close to if you see it, you or someone close to you will pass away. That's always what I think about with butterflies. It's interesting that different cultures kind of have this this idea of butterflies being like this symbol of like either spiritualism or like, you know, connected to like, you know, other worlds, like the spiritual world, the afterlife, that kind of thing. It can be an omen, right? Did you know that butterflies flock to corpses to get their moisture? I have heard of that. I heard that there's like a vampire butterfly, right? Because it like, instead of sucking out, what's it called? Nectar from flowers, it sucks blood out of living beings. But I from what I've heard, it's either only on corpses or it's on like it doesn't really like affect the animal that much. Yeah, they will drink your tears and suck your moisture. Oh no. You know what? I think that's another reason why another interpretation in like I believe Aztec belief was that butterflies were specifically the souls of warriors, because kind of like warriors are kind of like shedding and kind of like draining their opponents of their blood. The butterflies are draining, you know, flowers of their nectar or like beings of their moisture or their blood. Do what you will with this information. Yeah. So that's the thing. So this figure can represent, you know, the idea of transformation, of awakening the third eye. Or it could be something with like, you know, it's something that looks very dainty and pretty, but they are dangerous. They will suck the life out of you. Also, I could see the reason why butterflies flock around graveyards, because flowers are planted and scattered. So yeah, it's this also like, because like especially in like Western culture, I feel like butterflies have like a very feminine, you know, like connection of like, oh, that's something girly, you know, like they're pretty and stuff. So it's girly, it's not manly, and yet, like I said, Aztec culture saw them as warriors, and they're usually flocking around corpses and graveyards. So it's almost like they're metal as fuck. As frick, I mean, metal as frick. I need to do a swear jar. If I'm trying to be more say-so with my words, I'm gonna need a swear jar. But yeah, kind of, sort of, yeah. But Choji rocked that motif to death. Yeah, I've been wanting to rewatch Naruto. I left off as a like an early 20s person. I never finished it, but I do want to, especially with me and Beans finishing Bleach. I feel like now it's time to relive the Naruto. But yeah, so this is the art of Shuzar. Very, very cool sorcerer. OC, check them out. And we're gonna go ahead and move on, but let's give some appreciation to Shuzar and their wonderful art. Pachi, pachi, pachi. Woo! Okay. Let me go ahead and take a sippy of my water. I'm gonna take a little bit of a vocal break. And then we'll continue on with Link, with Pokepark Fan. Hello, beeplebees. You got your sniffer sticker. Thanks for joining us. I'm gonna say we're at the tail end of art appreciation. We still got 2 other artists that we're gonna be looking at. But so far, we've been looking at some really, really gorgeous art, especially by folks from the community. So yeah. Thanks for joining. Okay, let's go into it, shall we? Yeah, the Evangelion, because this is Ginger Root. I keep forgetting that he did a cover of Cruel Angel's Thesis. Yeah, feel free to dance. So yeah, this artist was recommended by Saku, And as I'm looking at their media tab, I'm realizing that I have 100% seen their art before. Many times. I think I don't know if let me see if I follow them on my Pau Pandan account. Because that account is more so for like following other people's art. So let me see. This is Poke Park Fan. I don't. Okay, I'm gonna drop a follow on them right now. Okay. Start the timer. So yeah, this is Link. This is recommended by Saku. And yeah, it looks like they do some battle art. We have a lot to pick from here. Oh, cute! Cute. Oh my god, it's cuter. So yeah, they do some Hollow Stars artwork. Mostly battle, which I love. Let's look at this one, because this is a really cool like expression study. I've been talking with them a lot in Reese's server. Their art is so good. Oh, nice! Nice. Very cool. I love this because, you know, we got the battle pirate outfit, right? And this is just a really good study for expressions, which I feel like for anyone that is interested in doing like character design or just fan art in general, you should definitely do a study of different expressions. Because here we have happy, laughing, kind of boisterous, and then we have crying, but I don't know why it took me so long to realize he's wiping his tears with a phantom. Oh, I should provide some context for those who don't know who this person is. This is they're doing fan art of a VTuber called Gavis Battle. Trying to think of other names. I call him Benadryl. God's Blunder, you know, Gavel Bingle. Oh, sorry if you hear. I did open the window, so you might hear the neighbors' dogs and stuff. They're borking at each other. They're bork. This is a member of Hollow Stars Gerber Baby. Yeah, so one of the inside jokes with Gavis Battle's community is that they like call him by incorrect names, but as long as it has the same initials as Gavis Battle, so GB, then you know that's a name. So I think I called him like Galvanized Benadryl, but his actual name is Gavis Battle. Yeah, Garlic Bread, Gerber Baby, all those. He recently got a new outfit, and it is really cool. It has like kind of the goth vibes, right? Gold bullet. Holy hell! Wait a second. But he's like I said, he's one of the few Hollow Stars that I still kind of follow. Not because I'm disinterested in the rest. They're all super talented. If you guys have the time to check out other streamers, I'd say check out the Hollow Stars boys. Haka, super amazing singer. Shinri, very chill vibes, you know. So, yeah, those were like my top 3 before. But he is just hilarious. He's like a kind of like a boy failure, but actually I don't know if he likes that term. If he doesn't, then I take it back. But it's this funny vibe of like constant like screaming noises. Goblet mentioned. Yeah, so going back to the artwork itself. Oh yeah, so one more lore thing is that he has a little eldritch being that follows him around named Phantom, who's very hinted to be like a darker eldritch being, but the joke is that Gavis sees it as like a little doggy. So he's like, oh, who's your good boy? Who's your good boy? And then like he's look at Phantom over, he's so mad. This is like me with my cats. I don't squeeze them this like this. But Glorbius Bink. Exactly. You got it, beeplebees. You got it. This is me with my cats. Like, this is what Schnackery looks like whenever I pet him. Squish that cat. Full-time fool of Hollow Stars. It still fits. Exactly. He's a full-time fool. But yeah, so going back, look at these cool expressions, right? So there's a really cool study of like expressions. So how does one show happiness, right? So for both of these, or all these 3, his eyes are closed. And yet you could see like how the eyebrows go and how the mouth is shaped to really kind of like sell that expression. So what's the difference between like these two both have their eyes closed and the eyebrows are a little bit like upturned? But here, there's more of a frown, and here you have the messy streaks of makeup. While here, there's no tears. He has the satisfied grin. He also has like the shape to imply that he's eating something. These two both have the mouth open, but look at how different the mouth is shaped. So here, it's fear. Fear! And this one is more boisterous. He's laughing. So yeah, eyebrows, the eye shape, the mouth shape, that all helps with like really selling the expression, right? And the cool thing is that these are really nice sketches too. Like if you see the line quality here, they have some pretty confident sketch lines. Squish that cat. This is okay, I think I saw both of these on my timeline. Nah, I'd win. So this is what is this, a crossover episode? So there's another talent under Hololive named Polka. She's one of the Japanese talents, so I'm not able to tune in to her stuff as much because I'm not fluent in Japanese, even though I am trying to tune into Rodden's streams. But the thing with Polka is that she's like a circus acrobat clown VTuber, whereas he's a jester. So it makes sense that the two clowns, you know, clown with clown communication, right? There's an outfit swap. And I've heard that Polka is like infamous for being one of the hardest. You know, let's just look her up. Is it Omaru Polka? Maru Polka? Is that her name? Her design is like one of the most complicated designs to make fan art for. Cause look at that. You got the double skirt with textures on it. We got different textures on like the bodice itself. I'm assuming that's what that's called. Is she a fennec fox? Is that her animal thing? And then she's got the hat over here. I pray for a collab. Yeah, they've added each other on Twitter, right? Like, so there's that. Is it Polka that I'm thinking about? That like she's one of the hardest people to draw because of like how complex her outfit is. 'Cause yeah, look at all of these designs. She has a bow. It's like there's so much to remember from her design. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is even more complicated. My hands are crying just looking at it. Yeah. Because she has so many... Wait, I think... Is there like a drawing guide? Yeah. Yeah. Look, it's... Her design is so complicated that there's a drawing guide to like... You have to remember all of these things. Because I remember back in the day when I used to draw Magni Desmond. He was a member of Hollow Stars. There was always 3 things that you had to remember. One of them is I'm gonna pause the timer because we've gone on a little bit of a tangent of like, you know, drawing Hololive and Hollow Stars design. So Magni Desmond, like when you draw him, even if it's in like different clothing, I always struggle to remember. Wait, there's an inaccuracy with the mouth. Okay, where is it? Okay, let's just start with like this design. So one thing is the halo. You have to remember the halo. You have to remember that he has a beauty mark. You have to remember his earrings. And if his mouth is open, his mouth is purple. Because every time I've drawn him, I've forgotten at least one of those things. Like I'll forget. Actually, the halo is part of his design, so it's hard to forget that. But I've forgotten his earrings at one point. I forgot that his mouth is purple. And I forgot the beauty mark. But never all at the same time. It's like I'll have the earrings and the mouth, but I won't have the beauty mark. Or I'll have the mouth and the beauty mark, but not the earrings. So I tend to forget that. So now think of Polka. Now think of Polka. Because now you have to remember the hat is worn over one ear. The fennec ears and tails. I don't know what propeller is, but is it like propeller? Oh, it's her ahuge, her hair. It's a propeller. There's a hair on the right is tied into a braid. Shoulder blades. Oh my gosh, it's a whole list. It's a whole list of like oh my god. Are these really part? Oh my god, look at the symbols under her eyes. That's so much to remember. She's like super hard mode. Yeah, there's gems on her face. Also, if you want to cosplay that, the horsehair braid for the skirt goes hard. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. The mole, Magni's design is still a banger in my heart. Same. More being dachshund. I've always had trouble remembering which side of his hair was which. Yeah, that's another thing with Magni's design. Let's look at this one. Cause I that's actually one of my favorite things of about drawing Magni is his hair. Cause here it's a little bit more like naturally grown, and then here it's like cropped, right? It's kind of like Azula from Avatar. that part where she like tries to cut her own hair because she's gone insane, and it's kind of giving this in a good way. And the fact that the halo is also projected on his face. Yeah, exactly. Why he Orpal. That's just how he be. Just like what Saku said, he's like a Chow Chow. Yeah, and the back and front is mirrored, so like the chopped hair is over here on the left side, but then over here it's on the right side. So this reflects this. That was actually one of my favorite things about drawing him. Bro had a mental break every 6 weeks. Bro, yeah, he truly is the Azula. To clarify, horsehair braid isn't actual horsehair, but it's like a weave strip that is stiff, which is what holds up the magical girl type ruffle shape for a skirt. Oh, nice! Thanks for sharing that info. It was probably used in the old days. Ah, kind of like, I used to play cello as a middle schooler. The bows used to be made out of, from what I heard, is it horsehair? And then I think the strings of a violin used to be from cat insides. We'll avoid that topic, but yeah. So let's restart, or let's go back to the timer. Let's go back to looking at Link's beautiful art. So yeah, this is an outfit swap between Gavis Betel, God's Blunder, Garlic Bread, and Polka. So yeah, oh my god, look, they got all the details! Look, they got all the details. And then, of course, Polka keeps her ear, her cute ear. Yeah, exactly, Space Chaser. So yeah, I really like their use of like really vibrant colors. I like how they colored Polka's eyes too. Can we zoom in on that? I love the eyes! They use like a super vibrant pink against like this kind of darker purple, and it makes a really cool like kind of gradient effect, even though it's just 3 colors. Isn't it cute? Yeah, clown recognizes clown. Oh my god, the little window for the belly button, so cute. And you know what, Gavis Betel's, his design is also nothing to shake your head at, you know, or whatever the saying is, because he's got all these patterns here. I did draw him before for a birthday project, for like a tarot card project. My god, like even just drawing this was like a lot. This is the one that ended up on oh my god, it's animated. Okay, I'm gonna take a sip of water while you guys appreciate that. It's based off of Phoenix Wright, isn't it? Or sorry, Ace Attorney. His design is nothing to squeeze your cats. Yeah, that's like... I hope that doesn't become my thing, that I just fuck up normal sayings or frick up normal sayings of like, that's nothing to shake your schnackeries at. Polka wearing Betel clothes goes hard as hell. I agree. You're the first comment. You are. Yes. Isn't this based off a character in Ace Attorney that's a clown? And like she does this exact action. And you know, the booba is an illusion. So they drew Gavis Betel like that. So for one, this person knows how to animate, because you get kind of like the impact as soon as it goes smack, you know. You see all of the flowers flying out. It's a very good animation. Let's see. This is super cute. Oh my gosh. So these are the Hollow Stars boys, the Hollow Stars EN boys. I definitely recommend that you guys check them out. My two favorites are no longer here. They have graduated, but But these are the ones that are still active in Hollow Stars. So this is Shinri, Axel, Betel, Altair, Flayon, and Haka. They're all super talented. I love my wife Betsy. And someone over, oh, Lottie said like, I love your line work. Let's take a closer look. I miss my wife Tails. It got used in a thumbnail. That's so cute. Yeah, look at this line work. It's all very like confident. You do see parts where the two lines meet, but it kind of like makes a very cohesive shape. My wife is a grandpa here. Aww. I really like their use of color and kind of there's very subtle gradients. Like if you look at this part of Haka's hair, it's like a dark purple, and then there's a subtle gradient that goes into the lighter purple. And look at the highlights. Oh, look at the highlights on all of them. I love how they do their highlights. So it is a completely different color. So look, Haka has purple hair, but they use this like kind of desaturated blue. It's almost like Altair's hair as the highlights. You go down into Flayon, and his hair is also has a gradient. It's like it goes darker and into red. And the highlight is yellow. Same with Altair. You get the yellow highlight for Gavis Bingle. For Galvanized Benadryl, you also have the highlight. This one is a little bit more similar to the hair color, but it still works really nicely. I like, oh my god, the way that they drew Axel's hair is really cool too. It's a really satisfying cell shading, basically. And the way that they did that is they use a little bit of a mix of soft shading and cell shading. Cell shading is a little bit more hard. Let's take a look at Axel over here. Look at the shading on the nose. That has a very hard like brush texture, you know? Whereas look at the shading in the cheeks. It's very soft. I love how they drew Haka. Yeah. So this mix of like gradient, soft shading, and hard shading, it makes a really satisfying cell shaded work. So let's take a look at Haka. Oh look, they colored some of the outlines as well. That helps to kind of like, for one, if you wanted to blend a little bit more in. So for example, look, this line over here is a little bit more brown. It blends in with that skin tone. But then it kind of highlights certain parts as well. So the parts that aren't colored in, the parts that are black, like the eyebrows, this under part of the eyes, it really highlights it. So cute. So cute. I like how it... Also the expressions, because we started off with talking about how this artist goes into expressions. It kind of shows a little bit of their personality. They're all smiling, right? They're all smiling. And then you get like the little sweat drop on Betel over here, because he's still happy, but he's also like, this is getting kind of heavy. Like, guys, your faces are getting kind of freaking heavy. And then Shinri, he's not stressing at all because he's strong. Same with Axel. They're just having a good time, and he's the only one that's like, guys. And everyone's just having a good time. It's so cute. Alright, I have less than a minute left for in the 15-minute timer, so let's look at this one. Oh my gosh. Shia Hatataku. It's Gavis Betel, but as Yoshikage Kira from JoJo. Instead of wait, why do I only remember Sheer Heart Attack? We have Phantom. Attack. Let's can we take a closer look in the 30 seconds I have left? There we go. Look at the pose. Oh my god, the background. Okay. Kill. Kira. The timer is about to go off, but I'll also pause it. I love... Okay, so sometimes the backgrounds don't have to be super complicated, right? They could just be like a really stark, bright color. Oh, that is the timer. Let me pause before we go into Kofuchi. If Kira had Betel's voice, greatest anime of all time. Oh my gosh, what's the copy pasta? Where's the Yoshikage Kira copy pasta? Oh my god, you could totally imagine Betel reading this. My name is Yoshikage Kira. I'm 33 years old. My house is in the northeast section of Morio, where all the villas are, and I am not married. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but you can kind of hear it. You can kind of hear it. Oh, snackery. Okay, my cat wants out once again. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. The pose is so sick. I love how the fire adds so much energy to it. With a super chat, you could try to get him to read it. Nah, I don't know if I want to do that. The colors on the suit are super cool. Yeah. You guys don't know what character he's referencing. It's Yoshikage Kira from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but it is still Gavis Bingle. So yeah, the flame effect is super cool because for one, these two colors, they contrast really nicely with each other. You know, that'll take an Akusupa for the character limit. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And plus, you know, I don't want to make him do anything he don't want to do. But then again, he usually is kind of down for things. Like, he does silly voices, right? So really good cell shading, too, on everything. I really like their knowledge, their use of cell shading, especially for things like, you can see the different materials. Like, a suit is a very different material from, say, like, hair. Or even like the shirt underneath, right? And yet you can tell that they have a good knowledge of like where to shade. I love their use of like really, really bright colors as well. And then it's always the expressions. It's always the expressions with this person that like their expressions are just really good. It goes hard. Like, look at that. He looks kind of crazed. He's like, what is it? Like, my stand has no weaknesses. Phantom has no weaknesses. Like, that's the face it's giving. Oof, that's true. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the timer has gone off, so I do want to be fair. This is the art of Link, also known as Pokepark Fan. I'm gonna link it in the chat, and we'll move on to our last artist of the stream. There you go. So yes. We've appreciated this wonderful artwork. Go ahead and give them appreciation as well. Pachi, 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 pachi. And we'll move on to our last one. But I will chug some water right now. Beeplebees, are we allowed to submit our own art for art appreciation? Yes. We had 3 people today whose art that we looked at that was their own art. 2 of them I did kind of like scope out myself, and I asked them like, are you willing to? But Zako submitted her own art, you know, so you definitely are allowed to. The only thing is I did lock the art appreciation channel on a raid. Vite, thank you for the raid. Hello. Welcome everyone. I'm Babinka Bear, artist, historian, art historian, and Sunbear PNGTuber. Oh no, so many bombs. Bears raiding bears. Yes. Welcome raiders. Vite, how was your how was your stream? Let's go ahead and give you a shout out. We're actually on our last person. Our last art that we're going to be appreciating. Yeah, you were doing your art stream. Oh, thank you, Matthew. Thank you. How did it go? If you need to rest, if you need to raid and run, no worries at all. Thanks for trusting me with your trusty viewers. Hello, Aura of Roses. Hello, Super Mega Man X. Hello, welcome back. Hello. Yeah, we're doing a little bit of art appreciation today. We are on the tail end of things. This is the last artist we're going to be looking at, and then I myself will rest and raid and all of that. Drew some new assets. One is probably not going to be seen again for a while. If you have the VOD up, I will look at the VOD. I will watch. But yeah, so we are looking at our last artist. Oh yeah, so beeplebees was asking, can you recommend your own art appreciation? Yes. However, I did temporarily lock it because I am going to be rethinking how I do it. I can also talk about this at the very end, but basically, like, because we also have we have that new, like, you can be an art historian series. I might ask for some submitted art for that too. So I'm still rethinking on how I'm going to be taking recommendations. But yes, you are completely able to recommend your own art. Okay? So let's see. Ara. Oh yeah, Saku, you told me. Yeah, Ara's your fiance, right? Yeah. I saw that you got a PNG and what was it? Fugi, right? So yeah, I saw that. So yeah. But yes. So I am kind of rethinking how like art appreciation submissions will go. It is possible that I don't know. I want to be mindful. I want to make sure that everyone who submits something, they get reviewed, right? But as you can see from this stream, we looked at 8 artists today, and I'm pretty tired. So I want to make sure that there's a way that I can limit it so that I don't push myself, but so I can appreciate everyone's art. So we'll see. I'm still thinking about it. But let's go ahead. Let's look at our last artist for the stream. This is Kofuchi. I start the timer. This was recommended by Mowo. This artist was recommended by Mowo. They have a Twitter, but I wanted to just see like all their works in gallery view, so I'm gonna link this in the chat right now. There you go. And this is really cute. Overall, their style is super cute. And kind of what I'm noticing is that they have a really good eye for fashion. Now let's take a closer look. The thing is, I don't know most of these characters. We're definitely gonna look at this artwork. We got some kigurumis here, right? We got some penguins, reminding me of the kigurumis. So all in all, we're seeing an art style that, like, at first glance is like, oh, this seems kind of like simplistic, right? Like, there's not a lot of shading going on. The facial features are very simplified. Even the shapes that they're using is very simplified. But there's a lot of character to them. For one, look at how they do fashion. I want to look at this one in a little bit, but at first glance it seems like, oh, doesn't look like there's a lot going on, right? But looks can be deceiving. Yeah, exactly, Space Chaser. Simple but effective, because it helps to kind of convey exactly what the artist wants them to convey. So for example, we have here, it looks like a cat girl, right? A cat woman. She's got the nice hair that goes down here, but you also see the ears, they're kind of downturned, and then look at the face. She's concentrated. She's like, I gotta make sure that this computer is nice and clean, right? Or I'm assuming it's a computer. It looks like it. I'm seeing some of the video card and everything in there. The ears are downturned, and you have this little tail, which there's a little indication that it's wagging. That little white line is supposed to kind of imply motion. So the tail's wagging, and then for cats, I'm assuming it's a cat, or it could be like a lop-eared dog. They don't like wag their tails as much as dogs do, but when they're interested in something, the tail is either straight up or it's wiggling like a teensy bit. They do wiggle their tails, so you know she's locked in. Basically, she's locked in, and it's simple, but it's effective in communicating what it wants to convey. This cat girl is very invested in cleaning their computer. I like also the arm, the foreshortening. Foreshortening is deceptively hard to get a hang of. So yes, you can tell that this is an artist that knows their stuff. But they're just choosing to draw with a little bit more of a simplified style, because it's a little bit more clearer too. Their hands are so cute. I agree. Let's look at 1, 2, 3. These 3. And then we'll go from there. This says arigato. Oh, and there's a little coffee symbol. So I think this is the author thanking the supporters, right? For supporting them through coffee. And I think this is what really stands out to me, is the way they do fashion, the way they do clothing, poses, and even hair. Let's take a closer look. This looks like, is this another cat girl? So look, the face, once again, pretty simple, but very effective in communicating what what the artist wants them to communicate. I need to chug more water. I really feel my voice. This really has to be the last artist. My voice is going. Utage. What is utage? I look this up. It just gave me results for a restaurant. Oh wait, Arknights. Oh, it's Arknights. Nice, nice. Oh, cute, cute, cute. Okay, so I see the image that I saw is like, is it this person? Wait, is this utage? Oh my god. No! Oh no! She's stuck in the rice! Is it this one I'm seeing? They both have big jacket. Big jacket. But I love... Okay, so going back into how, like, it's deceptively simple, look at the folds. Look at the folds on the clothing. That's something that I personally struggle with. But yeah, look. Like, you can see kind of the folds that show that this is, like, draped over this hand over here. The folds in the oh look, there's some details in here. There's some details that you could miss if you don't zoom in really carefully. There's tan lines. Look at the little tan lines. Maybe it's for shoes. Yeah, their line work is super clean. I heard Arknights was good, but then I tried to download it and my phone went up 20 degrees. Oh no. Yeah, that's I put my fake grand order account on my iPad. Not for the same reason, but it's because like I feel like the iPad could take it a little bit more. Yeah, the line work is super clean, right? I hope we can get a PC version. Okay, so we're gonna focus on the booba. But it's because look at how they do lines. Because this is, if you are ever struggling with showing roundness, texture and roundness at the same time, look at these lines. They're not perfectly straight. They actually like converge, like they curve a little and they converge. Like for example, these lines are all meeting down here. That's a really good way to show roundness. So you could show the roundness of the booba, right? So that's an easy way to, that's a little hack for you. Try not to do straight lines. Even if the pattern is straight lines, you gotta do round lines. Stripes like that on clothing are hard. Yes, Matthew, exactly. I love how well they depict form without any shading. Me too. That's something I'm kind of jealous of because I feel like it's really hard to show like form and like roundness without that shading, and yet they do. The ad break starts in... Okay, thank you to whoever snoozed that. Or maybe it's just Twitch, but thank you. We're almost at the end. Like the little tan lines, and then there's little spots where there's lots of details. It's very rich with details. So for example, look at the designs here and look at what looks like kind of little beads coming out from the shoes. Really simple but effective. Oh, and a little gradient here, a little gradient on the sunglasses. Okay, here's another one that's really cool. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting this, but my friend wants to know, do you have VODs on YouTube? I do, actually, I do. Let me... Sourcemed. There you go. So I do have my VODs up. It is kind of shaky when I update them, or when I upload them though, because I just forgot. Sometimes I just forget to upload, and then it'll be like 3 weeks later, and I'll be like, oh my god, I have to upload like 8 VODs right now. But I'll try to be very timely with it. But yes, my VODs are on YouTube. Sometimes they do have to be edited for music content, but otherwise, yeah, they're there. Oh, Irene, is this another Arknights character? Look at this smug. Okay, I love this. See, we're talking about how like simple but effective it is. Look, all you need is the pose and the face. You could tell that she's being very smug right now. Or smug or satisfied. She can also be satisfied. She can be like, that's right, that's me. I will make you review her next time. Yeah. Once I open up the art appreciation channel again, feel free to recommend them. So yeah, look at all of this detail work. Let's look at the outfit. We have some gradients over here. We have some shine work. Yeah, yeah. There's something about this design that is like very complicated, right? Oh, it's a rapier. It's a rapier. So it's like Vesper's rapier. I think all like hilts of the rapiers are just that ornate, right? So you can see like kind of the ornateness of the rapier over here, and then it goes into this really simple line. She has a gun. She's a gun. Wait, I'm trying to find where is that emote. She's like, stick 'em up. And you know what's really cool about this design? Is that it has a pretty simple color palette, but once again, pretty effective. Rapiers were part fashion accessory as well as weapon. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. It's mostly black and white, right? With some gray tones, but then there's also a touch of pink here that I really like. And there's a touch of pattern. It has like this plush pattern over here. You get to see her E2 art? Ooh, direct me to the E2 art. Or is it the next artist that you want to recommend? Yeah, let me know. Let's look at this one with the penguin. So cute. Gambison squares, is that what that is? Next episode? Ah, I see. I googled Gambison squares. And it's showing me this. Oh, it really... Oh, yeah, it's like the plush texture. Oh, that's cool. So it does have like a name for it. Because I saw someone on Twitter being like, what is this called? And everyone was just calling it plush. It turns out... So that's the... Thank you, Matthew. Thank you. Gambison is what a knight would wear under their armor. Ah, I see. Thank you. Quilted armor and padding for armor. Thank you, Space Chaser. Thank you, Matthew. Magellan? Is that the name of the artist that you want to recommend? Magellan? It looks like Magellan, and me as a Filipino, I'm I'm seeing red, but if their name is Magellan, that's a pretty cool one. Nice. Okay, we'll look at them next time. Okay, this is super cute. Oh, it's her. Oh, it's this character? Okay. Oh, cute. So, we have the character is balancing on one foot, and the penguins, the kigurumis, they're balancing with her. I really like... Okay, so I think this is what I'm noticing too, is that like even if they're using designs from like other IPs, like Arknights, I really like... Oh, we're gonna snooze that ad. Thank you. We're gonna snooze that ad. I think we should be good until the end because I have 3 minutes left on the timer. The use of desaturated colors. I think the exception is here. There's like a very saturated red, but here, there's another point of contrast that I really like is using desaturated colors. That's what I typically like doing. But having an accent color. So here you have like the yellow. The yellow itself though isn't super desaturated. Or sorry, super saturated. Damn, the artist is a gacha game artist. Ah, cool. There is some saturation here with like this teal color. But I really love this because it kind of goes into like kind of the cute vibe of everything. And once again, you see they put a lot of detail in the textures for the outfit. So you see the folds of the clothes here, and then kind of like the textures here. And then they don't overthink it with like adding every single line. For example, they're just adding shapes of color here. They're just kind of color blocking, but it's still very effective to get the point across. The shoes! Look at the shoes! What are those? The shoes are really well done. Like look at every single detail there. Deceptively simple. Alright, I think I have enough energy for just one more art piece, and I think it's gonna be this one. I don't know, something about the... Wait, is this? This reminds me of Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Right? Isn't this the jacket for what is it? David Martinez? But then the suit underneath is what's her face? What's her name again? Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Why am I blanking on their names? Lucy! It's Lucy, it's Lucy. Yeah, isn't this a mix of both of their outfits? Or is that just what their outfit looks like? But yeah, look at, oh my gosh, this fully encapsulates what I was talking about, right? If you want to know, the designer of Magalan is Nori ZC. Oh yeah, we looked at that artist before. Nice, nice. So yeah, let's take a look. This is exactly what I mean. See, they have the simplistic features over here with the hair. Are these clips? That's really cute. The hair, the ears, and the face, but then when it gets to the clothing, suddenly it's super detailed. So you see all the folds here, and then look at the intricate kind of like wiry like work over here. It's in this super saturated teal color that I like so much. It contrasts really well with like the inside of the jacket, which is kind of a desaturated yellow, and then the actual yellow itself. Everything here, they show like every detail with the clothing. I kind of like the belly. I kind of like the belly a lot. The subtle line work over here, really nice. And then the tail. I'm assuming this is the tail, right? This goes back to what we were talking about with Baba Nana's art at the very beginning of the stream, right? Where like you don't have to put every single like texture in here. You could also just imply it. Oh, and that's the end of the timer. Okay. But let's just go ahead and finish off. What are the side slits called on the pants? That I'm not sure. Like these slits or these? I actually don't know if they have a name. It's funny, I was just watching a video about like cars, like someone's trying to, you know, the Cars, like Pixar Cars universe. Someone was trying to like make sense of the biology and mechanics of the Cars characters. And they noticed that Lightning McQueen actually has something like that. They have like a slit in the back, in their back window. And in the comment section, someone had mentioned like, oh yeah, that's something that you see in race cars. It's to help air flow through the car. So I think this might just be like more of a design choice than any kind of utilitarian use like that. But it's still it's nice because little touches like this help break up the shape, because otherwise this would just be like a huge shape of gray. But you also have these touches that kind of break it up. We're going to the moon, David. No, that broke my heart. And hello, George Chungus. We're actually at the tail end. We're gonna be ending things soon, because you might hear it from my voice. But I'm dying. Oh no, there's no more snoozes. It's okay. Ads are incoming. It's okay. But the timer did go off, so yeah, this is the art of Kofuchi. This was recommended by Mowo. Very beautiful stuff. I think I already linked it in the chat, but don't die on us. No, it's okay. We're gonna come back from the ad break and we're gonna do our mosh, and that'll be it for the stream for today. But yeah, this is Kofuchi. Check out their work. And today we reviewed 8 very awesome artists. So yeah, good job everyone. Let's give some appreciation for Kofuchi and for Momo for recommending. Pachi. And when we come back from the ad break, we'll mosh. We'll do our mosh. Woo! So get your emotes ready. Okay. I think, you know what? I am gonna go on an idol, a bear meeting. We're gonna do a bear meeting. Okay. Okay. How do we do this? Go on my BRB screen. Actually, the ad hasn't started yet, so how about I prep? Let's do some prep. The YouTubes. Hello, Radiation Bear. You've caught us at the tail end of our art appreciation, but that's okay. My voice is starting to go a little, but you're just in time for the mosh pit. So, does a bear have an idol meeting in the woods? Yes. If a bear has an idol meeting in the woods and no one's around to hear it, did they really have an idol meeting? It's okay, Radiation Bear. The VOD will always be there, and I will be streaming tomorrow as well. So no worries at all. No worries. Let's see what song we can watch. Oh, ad break. I'm gonna go for a bear meeting. But I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And it looks like you guys are back from the ad. I was just trying to see which song we should mosh to today. Because we talked about Battle, I'm very tempted to play one of his songs. We have a whole bunch of like Haka on here, but no. Okay. Radiation Bear, sorry I just got off work. No worries. Yeah, I know stuff happens, or like, you know, everyone has their own schedule, right? No worries, the VOD will always be there. No worries at all. And I'll also be streaming tomorrow as well. I hope you had a great rest of your night and that you had a fun stream. Yeah, it was super fun. We looked at 8 really cool artists and all of their work. So, battle jump scare. Exactly. So, everyone get your moshing ready. Once again, if you're new or if you need a little bit of a reminder, these end of stream moshes, you just pick an emote and spam it. I'm also going to be doing a command with our stream avatars that is ! mosh pit. And unfortunately, you can't pick what happens to your your stream avatar. It's kind of RNG, it's luck based, but do your best. Do your best. All right, let's listen to this song, Inka Impulse. It's a cover by Bettel and Haka from Hollow Stars English. Let's do it. Let's put the volume up a little. Whoa, Space Chaser! They won the mosh pit! Woo! See, it's not rigged, it's not. Good job! Good job, everybody! Woo! Woo! Nice moshing. You all get an A++. Oh, stop. That's also a banger. But no. Maybe next time. Alright, let's see who we can raid into. We actually have a lot of people. We have a lot of people streaming right now. That was neat. I like the idea of mosh pits. Yeah. Maybe I want to see how we can make it more immersive sometime, where you guys can like throw each other around and stuff. Okay, so we actually have quite a few people streaming right now. We have let's see, Ursa Mate. We have quite a few bears actually. Actually, I think some of them did some of them stop? Okay, we have Mushi Bear. We have Kiki Loading. We have some pixel art if you guys want to see some pixel art. Nomi is also streaming, but I did raid into them recently. So I do want to keep it fair. Let me refresh. Let's see. Aros. Do I don't think I have interacted with Aros. But I can start. But we might do Mushi. I feel like it's been a minute since we've last raided into Mushi. Let me see what they're up to. They're playing Hades. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and raid into Mushi Bear because it's been a minute. But thank you, everyone. We are going to be you guys are saying Aros, but I've never. Can someone I guess give me their name? We are still gonna raid into Mushi Bear. But I am curious. Give me their name and I will check them out. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in to the Art Appreciation. Tomorrow I'm going to be streaming. Oh, it's just Aros. Okay. They're a penguin. Ah, okay. Cool. Oh, they're doing Master Duel. Okay. I will take a look. But we will still raid into Mushi Bear for today. Tomorrow we're going to be doing some drawing. We're going to be doing some digital art. I'm going to be doing some animal studies. I'm still deciding if it should be a magma board, so you guys can join in if you want, but it might also just be me solo. We'll see. Well, let's go ahead and raid. Start the raid. Exodia. So yeah, let's go ahead and raid. Have a good morning, afternoon, and evening, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye.